Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Comicsgate Commandos, number 29. What a great day it is. Thank you all, you Hottentots, for coming in to the chat, and I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let me introduce my co-hosts for this evening. Colonel Carbon Hart. What's going on, Carbon?
Hail, Patrick. Hail, Comicsgate.
In the chat, too. I forgot the chat.
Hail, chat.
There we go. Okay.
Good to see you.
You too, man. Good to see you. Let me introduce our medic, Dr. Ben. Oh, he's got that advanced camouflage technique going on, I see.
There we go.
What's going on, Doctor?
There we go.
There you are. Now you just look like you have gangrene on your face.
Yeah, I do. I do. There was an incident over the weekend. So well, look at like what it does with my sign. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Like, he's just floating there in the forest. Imagine coming across a little piece of me, walking through the forest, and he comes up.
Wolf and Bear says Predator technology. Now I know who Wolf and Bear is. What's up, dog? I'm excited for your comic when it comes out. You have to be.
We're deployed out to the jungle right now. You're on the jungle mission.
That's right,
Dr. Ben.
Always.
Careful details, Dr. Ben. There's
I can't. The urban jungle.
There's commies in the chat. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our very special guest for this evening, Comicsgate King and legend in his own right, Jimmy Reyes. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, you got it wrong. Legend in his own mind.
That's
perfect. I think it's what it is. And not a king. Today I'm a private. Private Jimmy. My mom used to tell me all the time, you're Jimmy's private.
Jimmy's privates?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Private Jimmy with a hat on. Good to see you, Jimmy.
Thank you. It's good meeting you guys, man. I saw we're reenacting Predator. You guys got Arnold Schwarzenegger up here and the Carl Weathers character, and then we got the Predator.
Exactly.
Dr. Ben, man, that was pretty great. That was a great.
Jimmy, I'm not sure if your mic is on because it sounds like it's low and we're hearing like the room.
Oh, let me check because I use a different streaming service. So
it is. Yeah, it is just like a hair low.
Oh, now you're in trouble because now you're getting full volume.
There you go.
Right.
Wow, the radio Jimmy.
That's sexy.
Velvet, velvet voice.
I got a chubby just listening to myself. Is that my voice? Wow.
Well, Jimmy, we're really excited to have you on. I actually backed Dragonrage way back.
Oh, nice.
A long time ago. I feel like it was one of your first appearances on Comicsgate Kings when everybody was still giving you like all of the shit in the entire world.
They still are. I've been there now. What is it, like 4 years now?
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful work indeed. And I know that this one's the black and white, but I'm excited to get my colored, chromatically enhanced one as soon as you're ready with it,
Yeah, I'm coloring it up right now, I'm giving the book some soul, and the book's coming, but I think some people right now, are a little, to clear the confusion, I redid another campaign to hope to raise enough funds to try to get everybody a colored book. But the way it's looking right now, people are a little confused on the campaign. So only the people that are backing this campaign right now are going to get the color version because it doesn't have enough support yet.
Gotcha. Jimmy, I don't know if you knew this, but it's 2024 and colored is kind of a.
Is it not? We're not allowed.
Yeah,
man,
chromatically enhanced, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You took retard from me. Now people can't call me retard no more. Like I was okay with that.
Call you a colored retard.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. You can call me colored retard. I'm all right.
Oh my God.
Apparently the word color is fine, but when you add ed at the end, add the ed.
The
that's
hard
when
D.
It becomes,
that's
the hard D at the end there.
It's the hard D that's uncomfortable. Some people are uncomfortable with the hard D.
Right. Well, we're all about the hard D here at Comicsgate Commandos, with a few exceptions.
This is a vow.
Anyway, this right here on Indiegogo is Jimmy's campaign. I'm going to play the trailer here, and then we'll talk about it here. Right.
「
Very nice. Jimmy, I noticed it says DragonRageComic.com. Do you sell on your website?
No, not yet. Originally I wanted to, but then I did the black and white, because I wanted to save the project, keep it within a budget, at a limited budget. I wanted to keep the book in the budget and get the book out in a reasonable amount of time. So I decided that I wasn't going to reprint that black and white that you've got. So the only people that have that black and white are those that backed it. I'm not going to sell it on my website, but this color one. Sorry, I'm learning.
Chromatically enhanced.
I'm progressive. Yeah,
That's gonna help. It's gonna help a lot.
Right.
This one is. I'm going to put it on my website. This new version.
Very cool. So this black and white that I have here is going to become super valuable then once your chromatically enhanced one comes out.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was reading the comments. Somebody was saying they're going to back the color as well. So thank you. Thank Catalyst Volt. I was like, thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, the black and white, it's a limited edition now, right? So
it is
how
now.
many?
Yeah.
How many copies exist of the black and white?
There were 968 backers on that one. So I printed about 25 over, just in case for damages. And then I printed an additional like 40 or 50 copies for the writer. So the only people who are going to have the copies are going to be you guys and the writer. I mean, I really don't.
So it's around 1,000.
Yeah, it's about 1,000. I was about 1,000 and maybe 10 at the most, but I have one copy for myself that I kept, and mine's already all damaged, and for some reason, pure coincidence, the pages with the nudity are stuck together. I don't know how that happened. I was eating chocolate. I don't know
How did that happen?
Yeah, but there is nudity in the book, guys. So
Well, we're well aware.
Yeah, right.
We're well aware of that, Jimmy. And,
I opened those pages and I was like, whoa.
and I know all my backers now, I have to remind them there are other pages to read other than just the ones with the nudie pic. With the nude
well, it's
scene
good.
in it.
In my opinion, it's good because it's going to desensitize the fellows to it, so that they don't get too overly excited. When they see titties, they need to keep it cool. You got to keep it calm.
I'm just trying to let people know right off the bat, it's not a woke book at all. There's beautiful women, masculine men in there, and the book's got great story. And the book's by a talented artist, so it's not woke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
So,
beautiful. But I'm
by the
gonna
time
say hi to some of the people in the chat real quick. I'm sorry, Carbon. Katie did says, "Hail, y'all! What's up, Katie?" She also says, "Woo!" I gotta do it with a southern
She's
accent.
the woo girl.
Woo!
Oh, Katie's the woo girl.
We have Abu Khan. He says, "Hail, hail, buddy." Hello, what's up, dog? We have Catalyst Vault. Jimmy, take my name down, Kevin. Take my name down, Kevin Everson. I supported already, and I wanted the black and white. I'm going to back this time for the color copy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. At the beginning, when I told people, at the beginning it was a shock. Like I was telling everybody, oh man, it's my first campaign, price increase. I had everything go wrong that could go wrong. Murphy's Law. I had, health issues, dude, just you name it. And, blew my budget. And so I was like, all I have left is, I can still get the book done, but we'll get it in color. I'll get it to you guys now. People freaked out, non-backers freaked out, lost their mind. They were the vocal minority, right? They were just out there, like they saw blood in the water and they went at it. And all the backers were like, all right. And then I explained to backers what I had to do to save the project. And people are like, well, we support you. And then when guys got the book, they wrote me back saying they loved it. And then now I got people going, I didn't get to back it, but now I want that black and white. I'll even pay extra for it. If you have an extra copy, I will buy it. So now people want the black and white, but I don't have any to sell, because the only backers are getting it. And I was like, damn it. Why did I say I wasn't going to reprint it? But so yeah, now people are backing the colored one, and I'm really grateful.
That's one point, Jimmy. You said colored again. Hojo says,
Jimmy,
"Hey boys,
I have a big question to ask you, Jimmy.
Yes,
because I remember you saying this, and it stuck out to me. That you ended up redrawing a lot of the pages, right?
Yeah.
After a health issue that you had, and I remember that because I've had experiences in the past myself that kind of make you want to appreciate life more. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I want to
You're
know.
married, I take it. You're divorced.
Well, I choose not to
Oh.
disclose private details about
Yes.
myself.
It's
I've
a
been pretty
trouble.
private.
Carbon's
But
a
anyway,
mystery, you see.
yeah. But no, here's my question though. So
Yeah.
now that you have all the redrawn pages, I thought that was really commendable. That
Oh, thank you.
you took the time to go back in there and redo it because you felt like there's more to be done here. But now that it's done, if you could compare all the new pages with the
Mhm.
originals, what would you say is the biggest difference that changed?
Yeah, the kings are always telling me, the fellow kings are always telling me, they can't believe my campaign is already at 100,000 because they know the amount of work that goes into it. Not saying that they don't put hard work into it, but I mean they do. They put hard work in their books, and they couldn't believe I went back and redrew pages because they know the hours and the hard work that goes in. But a lot of backers, I think, when they hear that, I don't think they understand like what kind of dedication it took, because I can't give this to my backers. It's a good book, but I want great. So I put in a lot of hours, and because of that hard ass work that I put in, man, I've gotten so much better. This is the first book I've ever drawn. Like people don't know this is my first comic book. I don't think people realize because I worked for Marvel and big companies. I was an inker. I was just getting to trace guys like Ethan Van Sciver and stuff like that. Like I didn't have to really draw anything. This is my first book, and that hard work is why I'm good, and I'm only good because of backers, because I didn't want to disappoint backers, and because I said I need to give them my best. That's the biggest difference is the fact now the confidence I have in my work and the when I show my work, the response that I get now, people just go, holy shit, like this is really good. And even my mainstream people that were supposedly my friends before I joined Comicsgate are now looking at my work. They won't talk to me. They're like, I can't be your friend in public because you're Comicsgate, but they'll send me a private email going, I saw your work you posted and it's badass. And I go, wow. Same people that when I was when I was an inker in mainstream going, hey, can I try to pencil? They're like, you're an inker. Inkers can't, everybody knows inkers can't pencil. You know what I mean? They're like, we know you brown people don't have good credit. I'm like, damn, that's just a stereotype. Inkers can pencil,
Tracer.
Let me introduce, ladies and gentlemen, another guest we have here, the original general and king of the scabs himself, General Scab.
How you
What's going
doing,
on, Mike?
folks? Good evening, Jimmy. Nice to meet you.
Hey man, how's it going? I've seen you. It's great to be on stream with you finally.
So you do,
Yeah,
Jimmy,
nice.
know the legend of Johnny Scab, then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've watched a few streams he's been on. It's pretty cool.
What's up, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing, Carbon?
Scab.
You're muted, Carbon.
Yeah, covering you muted.
Oh, I'm great.
Let's see. In the chat, we have Frederick Roman says, "Is there a scratch and sniff on the nude scenes?" We have Kamikaze salute. Hello, Cami. Thanks for coming by. We have Hojo says, "Despite what happens and shit does happen, as long as you're transparent with people who buy your books is all that matters. As long as you do right by them, the rest of the crabs can kick rocks. There are a few that outwork me when it comes to hustling and pushing their book. Jimmy might be one of them."
Thank you, man. That's all I've known my entire life. I grew up poor, and it was rough, and all I've known my entire life is you work. Nothing's given to you. There's no privilege. There's no entitlement, and I learned to work for everything. And so when it came to this project, I knew I was gonna have to work hard, and I'm still hustling. I'm still working hard, even though I'm up on Kings. I'm up on there. I think people are just still kind of taken back, kind of confused. People that are coming in out of the mainstream, like they don't know a good book when they see it. You know what I mean? They're used to the mainstream. They're like, we don't know what a good book looks like anymore. But Comicsgate is filled with just amazing books, man, amazing creators. But I think once people start to read this book and really realize what they have, once they back, they're going to be like, holy shit! I mean, wow, this is a great book, well written.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Jimmy. And from my own perspective, I love a lot of the Comicsgate books. Right, a lot of them I've backed the majority of them. But I mentioned this on another stream where I said it's hard to back every single book from a financial standpoint.
Oh
And
yeah.
I would consider yours though to be within that top 10% in terms of quality because the art is amazing. You know, like I said, I commend you because in your case you're doing it all front to back, right? You wrote it, you penciled it, inked it, and now you're coloring it, so it's 100% you. And I gotta give you props for that. There's a lot of respect because it's 100% you. So, but
well, there's a
I am backing it.
Writer, isn't
I am
there?
backing it.
Wow, thank you.
Writer is Dave Philpott.
Yeah, Dave Philpott. I went out and I want to put the best people. I want to get the best people for the team. So I could pencil and ink. I knew that I could ink for sure. I was giving penciling a try, and I said, well, I need a colorist and I need a writer because I want the best. I want the book to be good. And so I want the dream team. So I went out and I got the best colorist I could get. I got a friend of mine from that I worked with in the mainstream, and he was busy working at DC, and he fell behind, and his schedule got busy, and he couldn't color for me. And my writer, Dave Philpott, he's a professional writer, is just fantastic. So unfortunately, I mean, my colorist, couldn't fulfill the commitment. I tried hiring other smaller colorists, new colorists, and that was a nightmare. There's a lot of people out there that want to do this, but once they get in, they realize they don't. It's a lot of work, and the colorist that colored this cover, he did fantastic. It's amazing. I don't want to say his name. I don't throw him under the bus, but he did amazing. But then he couldn't keep up with the schedule that I needed. To let's get a whole book done. So, he wasn't able to stick around, and I lost a handful of colorists, and I believe, people are, at least whether you're good or not, they long as they complete the work, I paid them something. Even the ones that turn in really bad work, I go, here's say your page rate is $80. I'm going to give you at least 60 something for your time, and man, that ate up my budget,
Have you considered using the bad coloring work as an example of what not to do? Like have like a coloring guidebook and show like this is how you flat the wrong way. This is how you like do layers the wrong. You know what I mean? Like
no, I really don't like to criticize anybody else's work, or critique their work. I did keep all the samples. Like I can show you like what that colorist did, and then what I went back and I did eventually after learning how to color. But I don't want to throw that person on the bus because that person, may have had an off week, or maybe it was because he found out I was CG and maybe he's just got something against CG. But I'm not cancel culture. No matter how much I hate that, I don't want to do that to that guy. And so I don't even take that person's name around and tell other people like, don't hire this guy, or girl, because there were, guys and girls that I hired. But
they could change back and forth.
Yeah. Some of them can get better. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll grow and they'll get better. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I had no idea how to color. And now, I mean, when you scroll down, you can see my color samples.
That's another thing you could think of too. Like I maybe like to be like, look, these guys suck, but like to show like why you went with something different, or like to show them like, this is one way someone could do it, but this is how you could punch, like show like why you would like add on more to it, or I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not.
Oh yeah, no, I think I can color up like my own sample and show like kind of recreate what they did, and then they just kind of show what. Because I mean, I worked with them, I didn't just go, oh, your colors suck, here, you're fired. I didn't do that. I'm like, how do you feel being deported? Huh? It's not fun, is it? No, but I told them, I asked them, I said, hey, I went back and I touched up their work and I try to work with them and coach them, and I would tell them, I'm not a colorist, but this is what I'm looking to achieve. And they just couldn't get there. They just couldn't get there no matter how much. And I worked with them for months, and it ate up so much time and money that, I mean, it delayed the book even further. And I just went, I've got to make an executive decision here. So I went black and white, got the book out. And then, I had no idea I was going to learn to color, and here I am now. Now I can color, it's
right on.
Crazy.
Is it exciting for you to be able to illustrate, ink, and color all by yourself?
It's a fresh breath of air, dude. It is. it's so stressful trying to hire people. Like I still want to hire people and bring in freelancers, but if I ever get to that point, with enough cash flow, I can do it. But it's a headache. There's so many people out there that want to get in the business, but don't realize the demand, the work that we go through. Like these guys, that's why they're on CG Kings. Like I always tell them, they have my highest respect. Like I respect those guys. I'm just grateful to be there with them because they've been, putting in so much work for so long. Art T-Bear's been there longer than me. Del Keown. I mean, I broke in about the same time as Ethan, I think, but, and I broke in, I don't know, 10 years before John Malin and stuff. But, so those guys are like my peers. Those are the guys that, we've kind of been in the business together, but, like Aaron LaPresti, those guys been there forever, man. They've been working so hard. And if you're on the outside, it's still, even me telling you guys how hard it is, try to imagine that. And then times 10, whatever you picture in your mind, it's tough. It's hard. Never enough time.
Well, any creative pursuit, I've done work in, I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, but my main thing is music. I'm a musician. And I've done, I've recorded music. I've done, I've been in a few bands. And I know once you put a time constraint or a pressure where there's like other people depending on you, it like amplifies that stress level when you're doing something creative. So
it is.
I know what you mean.
It's like being in a bedroom, with a girl, and she's like, all right, let's go, get it up, let's do it now. You're like, wait, need some prep time. Hold on, maybe
You've been waiting so long together in bed, and then finally, once you got there, it's like the pressure's on, bro. You gotta get it up.
Yeah,
because you have to be creative, no matter what your day was like, no matter if you have a cold or a cough or if you didn't get enough sleep. Every day you got to be creative. It's like when you say you're a barista. Well, you can have an off day and still do your job, right? As a barista, I mean, it's a good job. I'm not making fun of it, but I am making fun of it, but I mean, it's still a good job. But for doctors and artists and musicians and stuff, man, you got to be creative. And if you're not giving your audience your top creativity and performance, they're not going to come back. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to go back to that doctor who had an off day during your surgery. You're like, doctor, wrong leg. Amputate the other one,
Speaking of which, Jimmy, how do you get into the zone?
Man, well, every guy here understands. You know what I'm saying? Like when your lady's like, your lady's like, all right, well, I'm going to give you the most wild.
Not that zone.
Well, still, it's a good example. When the lady's like, I'm going to give you the best night you've ever had, right? And your woman's telling you that, your wife or whatever. And she's like, I'm going to go take a shower. Well, what do we do to rev up? You know what I mean? We got some calisthenics. We go online. We look at some hot, naughty girls real quick and some, so what I do, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But no, what I do is, before to get creative and stuff is I try not to think about anything in my life, any problems or anything. I just try to let the right side of my brain go. And I'll even go look at other art that I admire, pull up some Ethan Van Sciver art, man, or I'll look at Del Keown or just see what other people are doing. And I just try to get in the groove that way. And then, to be honest, you just gotta get in, you just gotta start doing it, and you just start drawing. And once you start drawing, man, and you're doing it every day, we're conditioned. You know what I mean? Like, so every day, if you're doing it every day, you're conditioned. You rarely have an off day. You're so used to it. You just draw,
Do you listen to music when you draw, Jimmy?
No, I don't.
Interesting.
I have like anime playing in the background. I know it sounds,
Really?
it's
Like
not
a show playing?
Yeah, I have like an anime show in the background, or I play like The Big Bang Theory, something I've watched a dozen times.
Oh God, I wish you hadn't said that. You
Yeah,
were doing so well.
I
The
know.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I like listening to all the like shows that I've heard before. No, my real show that I love is the 2.5 Men. Can I change that? Can we pretend I didn't say Big Bang Theory?
Let's pretend you said 2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
There you go.
know.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
womanizer, the girl chasing.
Yeah, Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen. Yeah,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
And so, I just do stuff like that. Really, for me, is I just need something in the background that I can hyper focus. Something that I can just ignore, and it helps me hyper focus onto what I'm doing. And
But
I
you
just
have to
put it
have
over.
something in the background. You can't just
Yeah.
turn everything off and work.
No, I put something in the background. And generally I try to make it something that I've already seen so that I'm not distracted going, what did they say? She's wearing what? You know, I don't want to, you know, I'm trying to, I've already heard it, you know, it's like, Sheldon Cooper, wait, okay, I've seen that, you know. So.
Well, you know, sitcoms in general, I feel like they were engineered for that purpose. Like every sitcom has that feel where you can just have it on in the background. You know what I mean? Like whether you're doing chores or you're cooking dinner, right? Because that's a lot of people watch sitcoms in the background while they're cooking dinner, right?
Yeah.
And so like it has that feel where it's like you can do something else with it in the background. So that's interesting.
Chores and
that's also
dinner.
interesting that you said cooking dinner and doing chores, which is it notes that you're not married, because otherwise you'd have your wife cooking the dinner and doing the chores. So
or he's married.
No, that's what the wife does. That's what the wife does.
Okay, good.
Not me. No, you see, I'm describing what the wife would do.
Oh yeah, she's watching the show. In theory.
Well, we can actually get firsthand experience and know actually what the wife would do, because we're gonna ask a wife herself. Katie did. Welcome to the channel. How you doing?
Katie, you're muted. You guys muting poor Katie.
I didn't mute her.
Hey, sorry. Hey.
What's up, Katie?
Hi, guys. What's
Hey,
up?
Katie.
It's good to see you. Johnny, Carvin Hart, Dr. Ben, Patrick, and Jimmy Reyes. How you doing?
Look at you wearing the one anime that I like that I cannot pronounce. Is it Mini-Yasha or something?
Inuyasha. It's Inuyasha, Jimmy.
Oh. in my Yasha, it's in your Yasha, you know.
Uh-oh, yeah. There you go. In the Yasha. Yeah, there you go.
See, Dr. Ben knows. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, Katie, we were just talking about several different things, but we've got Dragonrage Crown of Fire, the chromatically enhanced edition by Jimmy Reyes.
Yeah.
Check this out, folks. You did the coloring for this, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I colored that one. And then when I make a mock-up copy, it kind of adds like a little white glaze over it to kind of create the. So it's more. There's the colors are vibrant. I've enhanced it. I've added more white into it.
Oh God, I don't know.
I love it though. I love the purples.
Yeah, me too.
Purple's my favorite color. So you doing shades of purple is really nice to see. So.
Oh, okay. 50 Shades of Purple for you. All right, I got it.
That's
Did you
right.
do this one too, Jimmy?
Jimmy, what kind of are these pages like moisture proof? What kind of protection do they have on the
Now they're
pages?
gonna need to be laminated. No, these
no.
Are, moisture.
What a very odd question.
You mean like, are they coated to protect from DNA or?
Yeah, no. Some pages are actually. I think
Yeah,
some of the Comicsgate books actually are.
Yeah, no. So you have to pay extra for that. That's the thing that Ethan and I, when he came on my stream, because I was really feeling down about, just like, man, I feel like, I hate failing. I'm really hard on myself when I fail, and so, this whole campaign's been a big learning experience for me. But one of the things I was telling him was I wanted to print on the best paper possible, and he's like, you can't do that at a $50,000 budget. Like that's just not possible to offer all the things these bigger campaigns are doing, and backers don't understand that, at that point. And I'm like, I just don't want to disappoint them. I want them to have the best book and to have something of equal quality. And he's like, well, they didn't earn it, because I'm not at the numbers yet of, the big campaigns where they can print on better quality paper, or they can offer a lot more freebies. And I was trying to do all that. And, unfortunately, I learned the hard way. And then the one thing that I learned this time around, this last one, is that no matter how many emails you send out telling people you're about to ship, make sure your address is up to date.
Yeah.
You get so many books returned because people are like, I never got the email. I'm like, I sent 50. Or people go, how come you didn't tell anybody it was black and white? I'm like, just look on the campaign page. There's like 15 updates and I can show you all the emails. There's like 50 emails. And it just
Emails are so 2000, bro. Nobody reads emails anymore.
Telephone.
Yeah.
I gotta post it on TikTok.
Instagram or Twitter.
I gotta make a TikTok dance out of it. Then people will get it.
There you go.
Check
Exactly.
your email. Make sure.
That's the solution.
Make sure you update your address. And, it's the latest
Ethan-
dance. You know.
Get Ethan to put it to your intro so that we're like, okay, this is the last week. You know,
Yeah.
like any updates we have.
Yeah, I got to put it with Boyos Con Papa song because that's the only thing people listen to.
I like the one with you with what was that, like Joy Division or something, that like
at the very beginning. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was good. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that was good. I think he had to change it because of the music, though.
Yeah, he was getting copyright strikes, and that's tough, man. You can't have
Yeah.
that on your YouTube channel. You know, so it's like, well, and then, you know, having those returns back, you know, the people don't get, you know, I'm shipping it out. You pay for your shipping one time, but when I got to ship for these other people that aren't getting the update 4 or 5 times, that's coming out of pocket, coming out of the budget. And now I'm like, shoot, I need cash flow. I need to start a new campaign. I need this campaign to do so well that not only I fulfill this campaign, because everything's paid for now. So when you order the book, you're paying for your printing and shipping, and that's going out. Hopefully there's something left over so that I can use to catch up on the last campaign of the things that I under budgeted for, you know.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I really want to do is try to get those people a book with this beautiful, vibrant, you know, color in it. But right now, I mean, it's not a possibility yet, you know.
how's this?
So,
I think
so when can people expect to receive the final product from this campaign?
Oh, this one's already everything's done. I'm going through and coloring, and right now I'm about 5 or 6 pages in. It's a 44-page book, so I can color about a page a day, which is extremely slow for a colorist. But I only started coloring just a few weeks ago. I mean, that's my colors right there, and that's somebody who had no idea how to color, you know. And then now I can do it in Photoshop, and even my colorist friends are calling me up going, "How the hell are you learning this stuff so fast?" You know, and I don't know. I really don't know. I think when it comes down to you have to find a way to do it. It's like parenthood, man. We're not prepared. We're not ready. But those of us that are fathers and mothers, you just figure it out along the way. And Kate's like, no, I lost the first few, or they're gonna need some therapy. But by the third one, we get it right. You know.
I always say that my mother and grandma always had a running joke. Don't worry, I'll get blamed in therapy one way. For some reason, I'll get blamed in therapy. So
I always tell my oldest he was my practice child. You know.
Your
We're like-
practice child.
hey, that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we learned what not to do with him. You know,
Yeah.
we dropped him a few times for real. His mother dropped him once or twice.
I don't have any kids, but I'm a child of a family of 7, and I'm like, let's see, 3rd from the bottom. So I
Yeah.
can there
So you
there is
know.
a distinct difference between the oldest children and the younger children.
Oh yeah,
I fell into that realm where my parents were like super strict because of the things that my older siblings had done. But then once like I got out of them being super strict and I moved out, then they're like super lenient with my little siblings. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
right. You know, you got the younger ones. You're like, what the hell? You're driving them to the movies. You never even.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like,
Dude got his
damn it.
license at 16. He's got or what 17. He's got a girlfriend in high school. All this shit. See, my parents
Yeah.
were real strict when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
Well,
No,
it makes
that's-
sense because you get tired by the time you have your 3rd kid. It's like, from a parent's perspective, it's like, I'm just gonna sit back, let the world raise them now. You know.
That's what I'm saying. They should have been like
They're
that.
the world's
They
problem
were
now.
like, they had their first 3 kids, and they were like, okay, we'll let them do all this stuff. And then their middle 2, they're like, no, you're gonna follow all these rules. And then the last 2, they're
Yeah.
like, rules, schmools, you know. What's the difference?
I grew up the same way. I grew up, you know, I got 5 older brothers, and then the oldest,
Nice.
I have a sister that's the oldest,
Nice.
and my dad never knew any of our names. I don't think he still knows our names. I'm 50 years old, and he just calls me.
Yes.
He just calls me up and he just starts talking on the phone. I'm like, Dad, why don't you? He never says my name. I don't think he knows my name.
Well, it's funny
Son
because
7.
you come to realize that
My dad was a
You
bit
come to-
like that. He just used to call me the boy.
Oh wait, you cut
come
out.
to
Say again,
realize that
Scab?
when your father calls you the name of your older brother. Like my father, he would call me, be like, "Hey," and he would say my older brother's name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "No,
Yep.
I'm a different kid."
No,
Yeah.
but but if you're in trouble, that's when you run with it.
Right. That's when they. Yeah.
Like
Right.
absolutely, yes, that's right. I am Luke. What? Luke's grounded for 2 weeks.
Damn, suck
that-
for Luke.
I know. Suck it, Luke.
Well,
Real
for
quick,
me,
we've got-
I
I'm sorry. Samuel
go ahead.
Antonio CR says, "What's up?" Hello, Samuel Antonio. You've never been here before, so hello. He says, "You a Sigma."
welcome.
He's using that new age slang, folks. What are you going to say? Brain rot next? For real, for real, for real. He says. I try to get coworkers at work to explain to me what the Sigma and brain rot means. Like I know what generally brain rot means, but like, what the fuck?
Is that a one of those Gen Zers? Or?
It is, dude. He must be,
Oh.
unless
It's
Samuel is
possible.
actually a woman, but he identifies as a man. You never know these days.
Yeah, Gen
Well,
Zers.
brain rot for me is listening to Eric Talata. That's brain rot, if you want to know.
Got him. Oh my God, Katie! I had an interaction on Twitter with some ripitards, and it was like the most ripitardy thing I've ever experienced. I have it all saved. I was going to go over it later, but you were about to say something before I so rudely interrupted you.
No, you're good. We were talking about kids, and I will say that after I had my second one, I got my tubes tied. I said, "No more. I'm done.
Mm.
I've got a boy and a girl. I think I accomplished the American dream. Get them out of me. Let's go. I don't want them anymore." So
Get them out.
I don't want them anymore. They're society's problem now.
my fallopian tubes. They took the instead of the
Oh, the
old-fashioned
tubes.
way.
Not your children,
Yes.
right? Okay.
No,
gotcha.
no.
Oh.
Just
Get
remove
them out of
everything.
me. I don't want them anymore. Oh,
That's-
geez.
Well,
that's
I
the
don't
way
know.
to
It
go,
depends
though.
on the day. It depends on the day, maybe.
I just-
Just kidding.
Isn't there a church step around here somewhere? Fire
Right.
station? After the quickest.
Where's the fire station at?
No, but the best way to go is to get it all out of the way quick. Get them all out and then be
Yeah.
done with it. I agree with that.
Yeah, and well,
Yeah.
where we were talking, with General Q, and I were saying, his family started out really strict, and for me, I had a boy first, and then second we had a girl, so I went the other way, man. With my boy, dude, I never once, I would be on the computer doing artwork and drawing. He's back there playing on somewhere, climbing on shelves, and I don't know what he's doing, making a bunch of noise. I didn't once go look, you know what I mean? And then my daughter. Oh my God! My daughter was my little princess. I kept an eye on her, and then when boys started coming in the picture, I sat between them, and
Well, let me guess. Your first. Well, let me guess this, Jimmy. One of them you can leave in the room and walk away, and they still be there. The other one is the one you got to watch because they'll get into everything. It's always siblings are so opposite with each other.
Yeah, which was crazy. But mine are grown now. Mine are grown children now, and so when my son was little, he was so talkative. He was like me. My daughter was quiet. Now it's flipped. Now he's just. Well, he's also an ex-Marine, so he's just.
Well, that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, he's so collected,
Nice.
so great and calm. My daughter is just, she's so talkative. I'm like, oh my God, she's my best friend.
We're women. We don't know when to shut the hell up, Jimmy. Don't you know that?
Well, I grew up in a house full of just tons of older brothers. I never got a word in, so now that I'm out of the house, I'm talking all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like a woman.
Jimmy, that's the same with me. Don't feel bad. It's the same with me. I
You
never
talk
got a word
feelings
in
too?
edgewise,
Oh.
so I'm always talking now. We were doing sit-ups at the gym the other day, and I was like talking about black tar.
Yeah,
Mexican
we were doing eating donuts. I mean, sit-ups at the gym the other day, and we caught that.
Serious. I was just like talking, and one of the guys was like, "Patrick, can you please shut the fuck up?" And I was like, "Okay, sorry." My bad. I'm sorry. Samuel
Jimmy,
Antonio
you-
wants us to know he's a guy. Like he really
Oh.
wants us to know that. So now I'm questioning whether or not he is a guy. But then he also says trust, which is another Gen Z thing. Trust,
well,
brother,
they're saying
trust,
Gen
believe.
Alpha. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, chances are there
This
wouldn't
stream
be
is
too many-
Scabidi as fuck. You motherfucker. You and your new slang. God damn it.
What does that mean, Skibidi? What does that
I
mean?
don't know. It just means that he's a Hottentot son of a bitch. I think that's what it means.
Skibbity.
The only one that I know is when they say Riz. I have
that
a
one
granddaughter, and when I
that
hear
be-
Riz, they
that
explain
became popular.
Yeah.
But Jimmy,
know
I was
that
going to
one.
ask you. I know that you're in Texas, right?
Reyes.
Yeah, Texas.
And so you grew up there your whole life?
Oh yeah, born and raised Texan.
Wow.
You're like, you
Wow.
stayed for 50 years?
That's all you have to say.
No.
Wow.
I mean,
He's wow.
no. I think that's great. I mean, like, what do you think about? And we could be honest on this channel, by the way. Just to let you know, Jimmy, we're entering the hour where now we can get a little controversial.
Oh yeah.
And you can say whatever you feel or think. But about the rest of the country, have you delved towards the West Coast or the East Coast? How do you feel about Texas? I mean, like, do you love Texas, in comparison to the rest of the country?
I love Texas. I think Texas, we should have stayed our own country. Honestly, I mean, I love it. I'm born and raised Texan. If I go anywhere else, like the West Coast, man, like it's a trip. It is a culture shock. And when we had a bunch of these liberals coming into Texas, trying to make it little California, they really are. They're different people. They really are. I grew up here in Texas, man. We didn't have therapy.
Yeah.
We didn't go to therapy. We got a kick in the ass. That's what we got. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, man.
And everybody, pretty much growing up, people would ask me when I got on the streams, I got on Kings, hey, you Republican? Hey, Jimmy don't vote, or hey, you gonna vote? I'm like, I live in Texas. I didn't even know there was another side. I didn't even know there was another option. Like, you know what I mean? Then I find out there's independent, and I'm like, what the hell? Then there's libertarian. I'm like, dude, all I know is Republican, born and raised, man.
You banked on the fact that Texas would be red. That's why you knew you were good. You're like, I don't need to vote. Texas is gonna be red anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Texas pretty much. I mean, all my neighbors, everybody, we're pretty much liberal, and yet my son was, I said he was in the Marines. He's very, very conservative, and my daughter. I mean, everybody's Republican here, and then my daughter is liberal, and I'm like, oh man, but I love her. She's my princess. So now I find myself on my streams trying not to make fun of liberals because she watches sometimes. I'm like, damn it.
How old is she now?
25.
Oh, she'll grow out of it.
She will. Yeah, she will.
few
When she hits like her,
Yeah.
like when she's
There's
like
nothing
28
wrong-
and
there's
older, it'll hit
Nothing
her.
wrong with it.
Well, she's single, no kids. She's not married, no kids, and
As long as she's not super woke.
oh no, she's not super woke. She's and then my daughter's she's really pretty, so I think she'll end up
No,
meeting
there's
somebody who is
nothing wrong with
Republican.
being liberal.
Wait, how old is she again? Did you say? And she's pretty? I'm
25.
kidding.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm sorry.
hey, her brother is a very built, skilled, trained killer. So
I can change her, Jimmy.
yeah, we could save her.
No, Patrick's a
Patrick.
respectable. Patrick is a respectable
Yes.
bachelor.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, I think Patrick would be a very respectful, wonderful gentleman, open the door, all that stuff. And
Oh yeah, I'm
I
old fashioned.
think Patrick's a good. Yep. You got an old fashioned soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's I
right.
think for me because my wife's half my age and her father's very Republican, and he's like, I mean, he's farther right than I'm comfortable with, but and he raised her to be a wife. He raised her to be a wife to someone, and people ask me like, oh my God, like she's beautiful, she's young, and here she is. Like you guys, I don't know if you've seen me on Kings where she's like bringing me food and serving me and asking me if I need stuff, She
Oh,
just
the
does
food
it.
she makes is delicious, Jimmy. Oh my gosh. I remember that one time you were on stream with me and she
Oh,
made you like
yeah.
this like platter of talk. Like, oh my God. I
Yeah,
wanted
she
to
goes
marry
all
her
out.
right there.
Yeah, I have to admit, Latin food, I believe Latin food is the tastiest. And
Yeah.
America
Oh,
has
yeah.
proven it because everybody loves Mexican food. They love tacos. They love, Latin restaurants do so well because it's amazing. It's delicious food.
Yeah, that's what makes the Latin women so tasty.
You know
Exactly.
what? I'm going to challenge you on that, Carbon Heart. I think Vietnamese food is really good.
Really?
It is.
Yes.
Katie, I don't fault you for being wrong. Okay.
She's blonde.
But I'll help you out. I'll give you some
Thank you, Jimmy.
info. I'll give you some pamphlets to steer
Okay.
you back,
Pamphlets.
back in the right
Re-educate
direction.
me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities between Mexican food and Vietnamese food with the jalapenos and cilantro and whatnot.
Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, that whole region, Philippines, that whole region, was it Southeast Asia and Indochina? They were, I'm about to say a dangerous word here, colonized
Oh no.
by Spain. So that's why also they have their language sounds like Spanish.
Yeah.
Tagalog sounds like Spanish, and they're tanned. They look Latino.
Yeah, they brought
And the
in
food also they
Christianity
got
and-
they got
Well,
spicy food. So they're
Vietnamese.
partially Spanish.
Vietnam was done by the French though.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Really?
a lot of the,
Yeah.
like the different like fancy like refined like French like culinary like straining broths.
Yeah.
like, all
And
kinds
some
of
of them will speak French a little bit too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I grew up with a Vietnamese friend, and we were
Did you
childhood
say
friends. And
Vietnamese?
Yeah, how do you say that again? Can you say that one more time?
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Is that
That's
not how you
wait,
say it?
Tell us again. Where did they bite you? They bit in the knees. Where did they bite you? In my knees. Like what are you saying?
Real quick, Katie, while we're on that subject, can you please say the word I just put into the chat? Just want to hear what you.
Ambias.
Or something.
Ambias.
Have you said that before on the stream, Katie?
Yeah, I said it, but I think I
Well,
messed
she
it up
tried.
before.
Yeah,
What was the
no,
one
it's-
that I made you repeat when I was on your channel when you brought me on?
Vietnamese.
Oh,
Fucking name.
Do you remember
Bit
that one
the
time you
knees.
and I
I
were
can't
tracking-
remember.
Bitten in-
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I already forgot what it was too.
I will have to go back and look and see.
Yeah. You got a clip
Katie,
while you're
Katie,
Yeah,
you grew
I
up
do
in
actually.
Virginia, Katie?
Yes. Yep.
Interesting.
I've been in
that's
Virginia my whole life. I'm in the southern part of Virginia, where the Blue Ridge Mountains.
oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so
I've been to the Blue Ridge Mountains actually.
good. Ain't it beautiful?
I did a road trip all the way down the Blue Ridge Highway.
Yes,
Yeah, it was beautiful.
you've seen it. Yes. Yeah, we got amazing mountains and beautiful hiking trails.
My
I
writer
love
is
my
from-
mountains.
What's
The
the
ru-
climate like there?
White.
Well, right now it's like chilly. Like we're getting like it's like, but it's hot during the day, but it's getting chilly at night and in the morning. So
Good.
Wow.
you can't wear Air July summer apparel apparently right now in my state.
My writer is from Virginia Beach. That's where he lives. Is that
Oh,
you're anywhere near
nice.
that? Because I
It's
he
about
makes a-
5 hours for me.
he makes a buttload of money, so I know that he's in a nice area.
It's Virginia Beach is very nice.
But he looks extremely racist, and you would think, like when we're together, I look like his gardener. Like I don't look like his boss. You know what I mean?
He looks racist?
Yeah,
What does that
looks
mean?
racist.
What, skinhead?
No, he shaves his head. He's white. He's like the whitest white guy, but he's super nice, so great, man. I mean, he's a really good, super talented writer too. So non woke at all, Need a new beer?
Well, I'll tell you what, we have there's a little hometown that I used to live in. It's about 30 minutes away from me. When they have like Christmas parades and stuff, the local Ku Klux Klan will actually participate in the parade.
No way.
Well, that's why I was saying he looks racist because Virginia is known for. I mean, it's
Wow.
Well, then he'll be
Wow.
perfect for the county.
yeah, he looks like he's from that county, when you see him. But
Well, it's
I mean, it's
crazy.
got to the point where you don't go down this certain road that everybody knows because that's where they all live. And I had a buddy of mine that accidentally made the wrong turn, and he noticed like he had to make a turnaround, so he got out of the car and get something, and then here comes this guy approach him. And to make a long story short, he said, I got in that car quick and left because he had a gun right in his hands and asked where I was, who I was, and all. So I said, yeah, you don't They don't like anybody invading. It don't matter what color you look like. You coming on their property, they ain't gonna like you. They ain't gonna like you. So
I heard that there are still sundown towns around the country. Sundown towns. But it's funny because that's why I asked Jimmy before about Texas, because it's so true how different corners of the country, of the U.S., they really do feel like a different country almost.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can be in Texas, or you can be in Chicago. You just drive north, to Chicago. You're literally, it's like you're in a different world.
Oh yeah. When this little county, they don't even have a stoplight. That's how small town redneck it is. And we know the sundown, because that was the statement we always said about this county was, don't bring them when the sun comes down, because they.
I'll reveal one thing about myself. I've been private the whole time, but gradually I'm revealing things.
Katie.
And Patrick, he was very slick recently because he wanted to guess, where I live, where I'm from. And I said the Northeast in the general region. But I knew the method he used, because he has a method that he's using to detect my identity. Right? Oh, and Dr. Ben, are you back? I'm about to reveal where I live. So I'm from New York. I live in New York.
I thought you were a Yankee.
A Yankee, yeah, no. Yeah, Johnny.
I say that with love. I say that with love. Okay. But I thought you had something there. I was like, he's a Yankee. He's somewhere
the
up
Confederate
north.
flag waving behind you as you said that. I thought you were a Yankee.
I have revealed in chat that I am a Yankee fan. New York Yankees.
See?
That's my team. I'm rooting for them this year.
But I can hear it in your voice. You got something there that I don't know. I was like, he's from somewhere up. Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds educated. Something wrong
Especially
with him.
that debate you were in, Carbon, when you said what did you say? Did you not hear the words that come out of my mouth? But the way you said that was so Yankee. I was like, yeah, it's there. Like when you get irritable, it comes out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Different times.
I've listened to the clip so many times. I'm telling you. So.
Oh, which clip?
The clip I snatched from Head Wound.
Oh, the argument with Matt.
Yeah. That's when I hear your accent a little bit in it. That's where I was like, wait a minute. Is he from up north? Is he somewhere near New York or something?
Maybe but anyway, I'm not in New York City. I'm close to New York City. Okay. But I go to New York City relatively often, and it's becoming a war zone. So I'm familiar with Manhattan. No, I mean, it'll be fine. We'll take it back. But no, it's just fascinating to see how the country is changing. And I am planning on leaving, actually, New York. So won't be here for long.
Well, come on down to the south. It's beautiful. We got beautiful hiking trails, beautiful mountains, nicer people. We got beautiful women, depending on what county you go
Ladies
to.
and gentlemen, I've got to make a move.
Got to make a what now, Johnny?
Have a good night, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Love you all.
Thanks for coming out, Johnny.
Thank you.
You're a damn legend. Thank you.
See you, Johnny.
And I also need to get going as well. So
you got your show, don't you?
I do, and I got good news, Jimmy. We are using your campaign for Campaign of the Night. So we'll be promoting your campaign over there. And I've got the link pinned to the chat over there and everything. So, that's awesome. The one last thing I want to say before I go, Jimmy, since I got you here, I know I've said it to you when I was on stream and stuff, but I just wanted to let you know that we are here for you. We're here to support you. We love you. Thanks. We appreciate everything you do. And I understand that the trolls and there's some people out there that are trying to knock you down and take away your fighting spirit. And don't let them do that. Just do what you got to do, and that'll be enough to go give them this, okay?
No, thank you.
Or you can just straight up go like this, or I'll do it. Hey guys, fuck off, okay?
Nice.
Katie,
But
I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
people don't really
No,
realize
you're-
when if people you have to back these campaigns in order for us to keep going, for CG to keep
Yes.
going, and for us to do what we're doing. And I think people think like, oh, I'll get them on the next one. Well, there's not going to be a next one if you're not backing this one,
Mhm.
And so with
Yeah.
you guys that are bringing me on your streams, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate that
No
people,
problem.
those that have backed it,
Yeah, no problem. We love you, Jimmy. We're right here for you, so don't you worry. And anybody giving you trouble, send them my way. I'll straighten them out for you. All right.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. Thank you, Patrick,
Thanks for
having
coming
me
on, Katie.
Carvin Heart, Dr. Ben. Love y'all. See you later.
Have a good one. We'll see you.
Katie.
Wait a minute.
Take care.
Let me repeat that. See you later, Commandos.
Nice.
Very nice. Very cool indeed. We've
Yeah,
got
Katie's
in the
always
chat,
cool.
we have, well, first of all, I'd like to read this. When Johnny left, Samuel Antonio CR said, "No! General Scab, no!" And then Alond Haji said, "Someone is a big fan of Scab." And then he said, "General, your beer looks tasty. It's a blue moon, brother. It's a blue moon, brother. I don't drink liquor. I only drink beer, but it's tasty."
You like mine?
Johnny says, "What do you got there?" It looks like camouflage beer. What do you got there? Is it PBR?
Yeah, of course.
I saw the top red and blue lines, and I was like, "That's a PBR."
I know it's
Is that sad that I know that?
That's beer.
Johnny Scab says, "Thanks for having me on, guys. I got to be up nearly." He means up early. "I got to be up early. Great meeting Jimmy. Take care, you lovely lot." Thanks for coming on, Johnny.
He was pretty cool, even though he didn't get to talk much, but he seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. He's a little, I've noticed he's quieter on guest streams. Like when he's a guest on streams, he's kind of quieter.
I mean, he's generally a pretty quiet guy, Johnny. Even on his own streams, you can watch a Scabcast, and there's times where he's like not even talking for like 10 minutes.
Right.
So it's pretty funny.
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
But then he'll rip his joint and be like, "Bleh, bleh." I love it. Speaking of which, Johnny, if you're still watching this, you owe me a video of you doing random things and talking randomly and smoking. And you also owe me the, well, you don't owe me this, but you said you're going to do the Phenomenon review. Give it to me. I'm going to harass you until you do it because I love you. That's why. Frederick
Jimmy,
Gaman
there's a
says,
question I had for you.
Yeah.
After you done, Patrick?
Let me finish it up. Good night, Katie, says Frederick Vermont. And then Samuel says General Q. That's me. And then Hansel says star, star, star. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I get these questions out because I might forget. I remember that you said you started out inking, right? And then once you started drawing, you used your experience of inking to motivate, to inspire your penciling, right?
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was interesting because in a way you kind of like learned through the process of inking, right?
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
my question is, which artist would you say, or multiple artists, I guess, inspired like the way that you started penciling?
Great question.
Once you started doing it after inking,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I worked primarily with David Finch, so I have a real big Dave Finch style. But he also took me under his wing. I mean, we're good friends. And I got to meet a lot of really top talented people like Arthur Adams and tons of top cow people, and through Dave Finch, and just getting to pick his brain, talk with him, talk art with him, and watch him draw. I mean, in person, I got to actually sit and watch Dave Finch draw and watch this guy just do this. You just do it, And so when I started penciling, I thought, well, that's just how you do it. You just draw. You just start drawing. And I don't really know how. I've been able to do it, And the weird thing is, like, I don't get any response from the Kings. Like, I didn't get any response at all from the Kings. They were just quiet when I showed them my work, and they just stayed real quiet. And then it wasn't until recently John Malin said to me, he said, he goes, I can really appreciate your rendering. And I was like, wow, he never compliments anything or anybody. That was a big compliment to me, and Shane said, he liked my work, and just get compliments from guys that I know that don't throw them out So I go, oh shoot, I must be on the right track. So it was really encouraging. And then, you know, I get a lot of backers who are telling me how much they like my work, but I still feel like I think if I can just get everybody to see the book. So I got my samples. If people are curious to what my work looks like, just go to dragonragecomic.com. You can read a quarter of the comic for free, and you can see the work that I've got into it, and I put it into it. My work is so good, it even makes Aaron Lepresti shaking his boots. You know, he's starting to get nervous. You know, he won't bring me on his draw stream because he knows. You know,
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, that's it. No, we've got to clip this. That is an official challenge to the Graybeards to have Jimmy Reyes on. Right there. I'd love to watch that. Amazing.
Yeah, I'll draw circles around those guys. You know, you got to
oh,
there, so, you know.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, Aaron, it was funny.
It's funny though, because you said that they didn't, you know, you would show your work and they were all quiet, right? They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
From my perspective on the outside, I would feel like that means that it's good, because if there was things that they could bust your balls about, like they wouldn't hesitate to chime in and bust your balls. But the fact that they were silent, I think would mean that, from just my opinion, that like, okay, it looks good. There's nothing to bust your balls about. So that might be a good thing, actually, rather than a bad thing. Yeah.
At the beginning, when I first started drawing the book, you know, I think it was on like page 1 or 2 when I first drew it. They were asking me like, "Oh, is that going to be for a cover?" And I go, "No, that's an interior page." And I remember them going, "Wow." But they did have one feedback, which was the way I was drawing faces. So they said, you know, about faces, and it made me, you know, anytime somebody challenges, like somebody will go, "Oh, well, you know, the way you're drawing faces," I go, "Well, you know," I go, "All right." So I go back and I strengthen that. And then John made fun of the way I drew this bunny rabbit, and I went back, and now Ethan's complimenting me on how well I draw my animals, you know. So anytime people try to throw anything at me, you know, and they think like, "Oh, I'm gonna break his spirit," or just teasing me or whatever, I go back and I strengthen that. You know, I go back and I'll just, that's the only way. I mean, that's how I'm getting better and better, is just the fact that anytime I'm challenged, and then, you know, being challenged by not having a colorist and just having to do it. There was no failure, you know. There's no option. I have to, you know, I got to learn to color. And man, I spend hours and hours learning to draw a bunny and learning to color a book. You know, it's a lot of hard work goes into this, you know. And I believe, you know, if you look at my work and you think, not to sound like I'm over, you know, cocky or anything, if you look at my work and you think, "Oh, I'm not at that level," you could surpass my level. It's just, you know, it's art, and it's skill. It's just how much time you put into it, you know. And you know, every page that I draw, man, I give 100% every panel, every page, 44 pages. And it's just, you can see the hard work. Hopefully when you read the book, you go, "Oh shit," you can see Jimmy worked hard. And it's just it's a skill, and anybody can improve it. And you guys can all get to the point where you'll draw way above me. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm better than people watching, but I'm saying if you're thinking that you know, like, "Oh, Jimmy's just this really, you know, at this one high level," but you know, it's just a matter of being able to put the hours into it. And I think anybody can do it.
That's honestly the reason that I backed your book to begin with, Jimmy, was everybody was in there giving you all kinds of shit, dude. And it was like, honestly, you know, no fucks given. This is Comicsgate Commandos. Like, I saw some of the things that those people were saying to you live on stream to your face. And I was like, God damn, they're being fucking mean as shit to him. Like, why are they, like, what? And, you know, because there's a difference between light ribbing and being mean. Like, we rib each other all the time on Comicsgate Commandos, but there's a level of meanness that you can achieve that's like, it's ever so slightly above ribbing.
Yeah.
And I noticed that was going on with you, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna back this guy. Like, I want to see what he's got. You know, this is before you had your heart condition and redrew everything.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I want to see what Jimmy can do. And I felt bad that everybody was shitting on you the whole time.
Man, those first couple of streams when they brought me on the Kings, I don't know why, like these new guys like Bosch and I forget the other guy that we have on there now, but he hasn't been on in a while. I forget what his name was, but he
Paul Ravoche.
Von Claus.
Paul Ravoche.
Ah.
Yeah, Paul Ravoche. and they fantastic artists, but they don't give them crap at all. These guys just don't have it like the way it went.
Have you seen
They give Paul crap.
Oh, Paul now maybe, yeah.
Like Graham gave Paul, like Graham almost like lost it at Paul.
Oh, really?
They were talking about the moon landing stuff.
Oh, right, the moon landing.
Yeah,
faking moon landing. Yeah, well, that's the one thing that he'll get. That's his subject. But like for me, when I came in, dude, like, I came in stream 1. I mean, for like 2 years, they were just on me every time and every day, and I'd get off going, what the hell am I doing there, man?
Yeah.
You'd be like getting roasted. Yeah, I'm on here getting roasted. No, I mean, honestly, the ball busting, it is endearing though, because it is entertaining to the chat, and there's a level of, and Jimmy, like you also have like you have a good sense of humor. You're capable of ball busting other people too. Yeah. So like that's where it works. Like, because some guys, they get awkward and shit. Like, but with you have the back and forth. So I viewed it as being fun. You know what I mean? Like, so. Yeah. But I know what you mean. They were heavy on you.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy on me. Where a couple of them, we had some private conversations where we kind of went to each other like, "Hey, is this kayfabe or what the hell's going on?" Because I think it got to the point with some of us there, like they would come at me so hard, and then I'd go back at them, and I don't think they were used to it. And then they wanted to talk off camera. So I had conversations with a few of the Kings off camera, and it was like we were just kind of figuring out where each other was at, and then we decided like, oh, I won't say anything about you, you won't say anything about me, you just do your thing, I do mine, and we kind of had that, and then years later, now where we're at now, it's starting to feel more like a brotherhood. Like, I'm starting to feel closer to the guys, there that have been there for a while, and gotten closer to Ethan, and it just takes time, I think, because you put a bunch of alpha males together, and a bunch of us that are we're used to, we're talented, and we're used to people praising our work. That when we get there, we're not like we're divas, but when you put a bunch of all-stars together, you know what I mean? And then, it's like in the all-star game, Kobe Bryant's running around dunking everybody. And they're like, calm down. We're all A-star players here, and calm down.
Well, exactly. It's just like sports. Exactly. Because in the sports team, if you got all the alphas or the stars, it's very easy to start to slip over the line where, you know what I mean? You got to ride that line with each other. And then when you step over, and it's bound to happen, though. It's going to happen.
There's a lot of talent, man, on Kings, and a lot of years of experience that I know some people that watch may not quite get how hard it was back then for these guys in the 80s, and for us that broke in the 90s, how hard it was to break in. Back then, man, like today, they're just like, oh, you want to draw comic books? Oh, you're a minority. Oh, and you're disabled. Oh, and you're this pronoun. Get the cover to X-Men, your first project. You know what I mean? We're back in the day, man. You had to pay your dues, and then you got to pay more dues, and then you start at the bottom, and then I mean, you got to earn your way through, and it was hard work breaking in back then. And I don't think people understand like the amount of discipline and work that these guys that you see on Kings,
Oh yeah. I wanted to show the folks something, but I've scheduled 2 posts now. I scheduled one yesterday morning, and then I scheduled one today. Yeah, scheduling posts. It's a thing. You can
tell people about how to like file their taxes too, like scheduling posts.
No. I was scheduling a post on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't post, so I'm posting it live right now. Jimmy might have even forgotten about this, honestly. I mean, it's been so darn long. But let me bring this up here. Jimmy, do you remember I asked you to do a cover for me a long time ago?
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to. You should have. What? Patrick?
And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Jimmy Reyes cover for the second printing of Phenomenon, my comic magazine that came out a couple months ago. This is going to be the second printing cover. There's only one cover. It's going to be the Jimmy Reyes cover. It's been chromatically enhanced by Peter Gilmore. He did a quick job in a very short period of time for me, and I'm very pleased with the results here. I would have asked you, Jimmy, but I felt like you're probably busy with Dragonrage, and I didn't want to like.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm also still. I mean, I've just started learning to color. I don't know if I'm ready to color someone else's. Well, I mean, it's my artwork, but I mean, somebody else's book for someone else's book. You know, so no, I'm not offended at all. I mean, that's awesome that Peter colored. I remember this. I remember at first, like, going from drawing Dragonrage and then having characters that I didn't know how they were, but you provided great reference, man. They were fun to draw, man. And I like drawing women.
Great job.
So I put the women up front.
Yeah. In fact, this cover, now that I'm saying it, reminds me that I meant to tell you should change the name from Dragonrage Crown of Fire to Titty Mountain. I think it's the best title for your book.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this girl's got a mask and covering her face. I can't make her beautiful. How else can I make her very,
right?
I got to make her voluptuous and show that she's a female, female character. And so I just, I showed her tummy and I showed her a nice pair of ears she's got. And,
her eyes are beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful pair of eyes.
So this is the secret that you had in the safe, huh, Patrick?
That's right. I've had this for, I don't know when did I ask you to do this, Jimmy? It was before the campaign even launched, I feel like.
Wow. It's been a while. I mean, almost a year? No.
Yeah.
Half a year? No.
But this is a question I wanted to ask you about this. But real quick, Transylvania Jack says, "Hail Commandos, hail Jimmy. What's up, Transylvania Jack? Thanks for coming by, brother." So Jimmy, this cover is not like I told you exactly what to do. I provided all that reference and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is no like knock on you, but this cover is not actually like the things that are on this cover don't actually occur in the comic book. So what I'm saying is, right, these people don't actually fight right here. The background with Pumpkin Man and Diamond, that occurs, but this front stuff is just like, I literally knew I wanted a what do they call that? What's the girl covers called? What do they call those? Like
JoJo.
You know what I'm saying? Like a cover with a sexy woman on the front. They have a name for it. Cheesecake. That's it. I knew this was going to be a cheese because I saw your work before and I was like, and then I saw this and I was like, all right, this is the cheesecake cover for sure. At least compared to the other ones.
You got to show off the women, you got to show off. And I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I draw women pretty well. And even back then I was starting to learn to draw the female body pretty well. And I thought, I'll do that. I mean, the guy back there, I like him, with the blades, and I thought those blades that are, kind of connected to him, and I thought I got to draw that guy in there, and he's got to be kind of leaping in, and he just, he was pretty cool. I could definitely do something really kick-ass with him up front. Maybe I should have done that, but when I saw these two female characters, I was like, I got to do something with those. And
yeah,
I'm glad to hear though, because it sounds like it's totally different than what the other covers look like, and which is
very different.
A good thing, you want a variety for the people that are going, oh, I didn't know there were these hot chicks in this book. I want those.
But the question that I want to ask you is that as an artist, when you see a cover that doesn't like the events on the cover aren't in the actual interiors, does that bother you?
What issue number is this?
This is just number 1.
Oh, and number 1, you can draw anything. Number 1 is you when you're back on the days when you're on the shelf, you need something eye-catching. That's why they created those cheesecake covers, or you just needed something appealing because you were competing with tons of other books on the shelves. So it's issue number 1. As long as those characters are in the book, for me personally, I'm fine with it. It just needs to be something showing off her hair. Yeah.
I love Avocado. He's great.
Marketing 101. Exactly. And it's just, I think as you get down the line, issue 2 and 3, that once people know the characters, they care for the character, and then they're like, holy shoot, Pumpkin Man or whoever is, oh man, he's almost, why is he on the ground? And is he dead? I got to read this issue, then, at that point you want that on the cover. But when it's an introduction, you want to show them, like, hey, these characters look great. They look
Whatever
good.
gets the attention of the reader.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's got that badass blast coming from her hands, and it's just
Yeah,
it's like
sick cover. It's just I'm so autistic, I guess, that I was honestly afraid that I would sell this to people and that they would be upset with me that this scene didn't occur in the first issue.
They
So
probably are going to want it now because of the fact that it's a badass chick fight.
Don't worry, folks. We got this fight between Ember and Blue Rose. That comes up at a certain point, just not issue 1.
So a couple of things about this cover. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. The person at the bottom, that looks like a female version of Johnny Scab, though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
The face looks like Johnny Scab.
What?
It really does.
Oh, God.
I was thinking that when he left. I was like, wait a minute, Patrick.
Yo,
you asked me to draw.
Cosmic.
Look, folks, I made Ember and her design before I even met Johnny Scab, okay?
It was funny when he sent me reference. It was all pictures of Johnny Scab. I was like, wait a minute.
I want you to make him female. I want you to put tits on him.
Transylvanian Jack is agreeing with that as well.
I love it.
He's transitioning.
But also, Blue Rose.
You do see some Kirby Crackle. You're damn right. That's because her power has Kirby Crackle.
Yeah, you actually asked for that in the description. It's a Kirby Crackle, and you wanted a Kirby style background.
Yes, sir.
So I did my Kirby-esque crackles.
Blue Rose. I have an appreciation for that chick, Blue Rose. Right, because she's Venezuelan. Right, her father's from Venezuela.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's relevant.
that little hint there for us.
As you know,
at this point, I already know your name. I'm never gonna say it, but I know who you are now. I know exactly who you are.
Well, since I said New York,
wait, Johnny.
Now you know.
That's my estranged sister, Jenny. She's gonna sue you, Patrick.
Jenny Scab. There you go.
Jenny Scab. That's amazing.
You should change her name. That's a little nickname for her.
Jenny Scab. Oh my God. Actually, after I met Johnny, because he wears a mask, because I met Johnny and he was wearing a mask, and he was saying things that were anti-communist, that were almost anti his own government, and so he was wearing a mask, which kind of protects him from government reprisal. And I honestly thought, how crazy is that I'm talking to this dude in real life who wears a mask to prevent government reprisal, and all of the characters who are committing the coup in this book, my book, all wear masks just to prevent government reprisal. I thought it was pretty wild and pretty
yeah.
How did that happen?
So this cover hasn't come out yet, or it hasn't dropped yet?
No. So in October, I'm going to be releasing Phenomenal Tales #1, which is Phenomenon is a episodic, all of the issues, they don't resolve the story within themselves. There's going to be several issues before the full story of this resolves. But I thought to myself, one, I want to write, issues that resolve within one comic.
Yeah.
Just to not only to practice, but because I like that style of writing. And also to give some of these characters better backgrounds, because it's going to be hard to know who these people are, just from the outset. So I decided to essentially make a whole nother comic, which is actually drawn by a different guy. It's not drawn by Tomas Kavash. It's drawn by a fellow by the name of Claudio Sepulveda. And he's drawing Phenomenal Tales #1, which is about Minotaur. And if you guys have read that comic, he's the dude who he's the really big, strong the perfect Soviet man, essentially. And it's going to go into his background and what he is all about and why he is the way that he is. And because people have asked me to re-release Phenomenon comic magazine #1, I figured, well, I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to pay somebody to put in the work to color this Reyes, this beautiful Jimmy Reyes cover that's been sitting around for no reason. And
put in the money.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna, the thing is, it's been sitting around, and I got to put my whole, this doesn't happen in the book aside. I'm just going to say that up front. This doesn't happen in the book, folks, but it's a beautiful cover. It's
good action
first
scene.
Or second as my favorite cover. And I'm not going to say which is which, but it's there's 3 covers, and this is
I honestly think that in terms of comic books, that the cover event is not always expected to be in the issue, right? It's not like with a movie trailer, right? Movie trailers, obviously, everything you see in the trailer, you're expecting it to be in the movie. With a comic, you see the cover, it's like, okay, this is something that might occur eventually, or like even in between scenes. So you don't even need to reveal that, I think.
Well, this does occur eventually, but not within this context. But I think it looks God damn, this cover's beautiful though. But I feel like I'm distracting from Jimmy's project. Let me
no, it's fine. I mean,
I wanted to ask Jimmy about what he was talking about earlier about drawing.
That's the most vague statement that's ever been made.
Is he pausing for effects or what?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was like, well, okay. Like the way you were, like I couldn't understand like what you were saying, like how you were saying like with your when you went transition like penciling. You're saying like you've been with working with like David Finch and like studying under him, and so you're just kind of like, because I know like he just does that like the same thing like with Jim Lee, where they just start drawing, and it's just like a fucking guy right there. Like all of a sudden, it's just like they're not like building like you know what I mean, like skeletons and stick figures. Like is that like what you're saying? Like is that what you were talking about? Like
no, well, whenever you start drawing, you should start with an underdrawing. You need structure. You need the skeletons or the guides to break down the shapes of the face, or anatomy, whatever it is you need to do. You break it down. But they've been doing it for so long now. They have their go-to poses. They can just do it and just draw.
Right.
And I didn't understand that at the beginning. And once I started talking to him, he's like, "No, I just drawn this pose about 1,000 times." So now I can just sit here in convention sketches and just whip it out and just do pretty much the same kind of poses over and over. And I went, oh, wow. So I started drawing every pose I could think of and just drawing it over and over and over and just going at it, drawing every day, all day, and drawing everything, not just drawing like the cool stuff, that like, I don't always get to draw fun stuff like this, like where, the fight scene. Sometimes I got to draw, just people, driving a car, and it's not, but I want to make it the best that I can. So I started just drawing everything when I was practicing. I'd practice all the scenes that I could think of that weren't fight scenes. And I just kept, practicing. And with that, you just get comfortable with it. You get to the point where you've done anything, with repetition. I mean, everything, gets easier. So, and drawing is no different,
Right on.
Yeah, are you an
That's
artist? Dr. Are you an artist? I see a drafting table back there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I just released my mini comic. Let Us Get. So
yeah, we can't. I see green background, but you when
your background is fucking things up, Dr.
Yeah,
I can't see what you're working on.
Hold on.
But when what art is just, it's a skill, it's a trade, and anybody can improve, everybody can improve, and anybody can learn to draw, So it's just, putting in the hours, it's a lot of work to improve. But I mean, this. I mean, you're an artist, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just you just keep doing it, and you just I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. You just keep doing it. It's all. That's all I know. Just you don't stop. Like once you stop, then
you're
not doing it. Like,
you're not conditioned. It's a muscle memory, and you got to keep doing that. And just like with Patrick was saying, we were at the gym doing sit-ups, but if you haven't done sit-ups in 15 years, you're gonna hurt your stomach. It's not gonna be that easy. So it's the same thing with drawing. You got to be doing it every day.
That's what I meant, Jimmy, when I asked that question earlier about the difference between your redrawn pages and the original pages, right? Like, how would you sum up the difference from a technical standpoint of how those new pages were better than the original ones?
Oh, well, I mean, I knew how to draw great pinups when I first started transitioning and penciling. I did all fancy pinups and covers, and then as I was going, I started to learn storytelling. I went back to go read I grew up, I broke into comics in the 90s. I wanted to be like the artist in the 90s. And unfortunately in the 90s is when storytelling was put on, was secondary, and, flashy pinups and big flashy splash pages was primary. That's what was selling. I had to find other artists and learn from other artists about storytelling, and, so that's what I started focusing on. And I started focusing on storytelling. And then when I came back, I said, oh man, I want to tell a good story, not just give big splash pages. So I cut down a lot of my splash pages. In the book, there really aren't any big splash pages. I was like, I realized I can do fancy detailed panels and don't need to be doing these big splash pages. I can do beautiful backgrounds and people go, holy crap. Look at the way Jimmy drew this scene, all these butterflies in the background, these trees and all the, the life back there. And were just as interesting as a big, muscular guy punching out another guy, on a splash page. So I started discovering all that. And I'm finding my rhythm. I'm only on book 1. So, by book 2, book 3, I mean, imagine where I could be, but this might be my last campaign. I've been trying to, that's when I was on a live stream and I was just talking about trying to explain to people, if you don't back this book, there's no point in me being here if Comicsgate is not supporting me. What's the point of, if I'm not contributing to the movement, if I don't want to just be sitting on a panel, not being able to contribute a good book, good art. I want to put my money where my mouth is and all vice versa, and I want to show people, that, this is show the mainstream. This is how we make good books. But if I don't get any,
your book is top notch in my opinion. It looks great, and I think your whole story also adds to it in terms of the evolution you've been through as an artist. And I think you need to show up on some more streams, man. Like Post Kings, for example, right? Post Kings with John Malin.
Yeah, I'm banned. John Malin's he's gatekeeping me from that one.
What?
What do you mean?
Oh no.
He won't retweet me. He won't he won't like my stuff, and he won't let me on gangs. I don't know. He just told me one time he wasn't gonna let me on, and he laughed. And I asked him if I can be on. There was a stream that you can watch. It's on his channel. I was in the chat, and he goes, "No, you're not coming on." And so he's serious. I thought he was joking, but he doesn't let me on. He doesn't let me on. I mean, he'll let me on if he hosts Kings, he'll let me on there. He doesn't. I mean, I'm joking about the gatekeeping, but he'll put me on there. He says Jimmy CG drama is wild. Oh yes. Well, I don't know. I haven't really been in any CG.
In
drama.
any case, what I'm saying is, I agree that this needs to be a lot higher than what it's at. It deserves to be a lot higher than what it's at. And it boils down to being on some of these streams and fuck it, bro. Just fucking push yourself through the door. But what I mean is like push yourself through the door, like in terms of being like, hey, I want to show up tonight. And if you reach that final conclusion and they give you the final no, then so be it. But I don't think they will, to be honest, man, because nah, man, like you're still a part of it. Yeah, you're right. You're still part of CG Kings.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, they're all good guys. I'm not. I mean, when ultimately it's John's channel, and he does the Post Kangs thing. I mean, he might have like a certain style or whatever he's doing, and maybe just doesn't have the time to, or maybe I'd break that rhythm or whatever coming on.
Yeah, he's kind of a standoffish person though, too.
You know what it is?
Like just in general, he's kind of like I don't know. Like he doesn't say a lot of nice things, but he also.
I know exactly what it is. Jimmy, have you sang Happy Birthday to John Malin?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was his birthday. So no.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
You didn't sing to John Malin. That's what it is.
Got me back. No, but I mean, he's a good guy, and I get along with him, and he's really cool. Like he never attacks me on Kings. Like he's just, he's a pretty good guy. But people have said that to me all the time. Go on Post Kings. I'm like, yeah. You guys don't know. He once said to me, no, I wasn't going to be on there, and I was like, oh, I laughed, but then he was serious.
Damn.
I even went on tried to go on one time. I asked, and he straight out said no, and I was like, whoa.
Damn.
And he laughed.
I thought it was Shane Davis who actually hated you.
Oh,
not
Shane and I had
improved, huh?
friction, but we're getting along pretty well. I mean, Shane's actually a really funny guy.
You are now, yeah.
I'm really starting to like him, I've always liked his work. I've always admired his work and thought it was great. And his wife right away, I liked his wife. I love her personality and the way she is in the King's green room and stuff. And I just think, wow, they're cool people. But for some reason, at the beginning, I thought, man, Shane and I would get along great. We're a lot alike. But then I think that was where the friction came in. I think we're a lot alike, and that friction just started. But we're finally getting to a point now where we're starting to get along. I'm starting to get to know the real Shane, and man, he's a really cool guy. I really, like I said, I really like him. And when he and I, when we're being ourselves, we're getting along great.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a possibility there. I like him, and then with Ethan, it took him a while to figure me out. It took me a while to figure him out because. These people say all these things about Ethan, but I mean, to be completely honest, and of course, when these people are making fun of or trying to claim that Ethan's something that he's not, he'll he runs with it. That's his style of humor. He'll run with it, and it was kind of hard because I came from the mainstream and I was kind of brainwashed, and I came in, I was a little uncomfortable and they recognized that I was a little uncomfortable, a little hesitant. And now that I've gotten to know Ethan a lot, I'm like, this guy is really nice, man. Like he steps in and try to help people. He's got a good heart. He really does try to help other creators. Where you see other people out there who've made it really big campaigns, and they don't help other indie people. And Ethan does. He really tries to help people, but even though he gets burned, he's still doing it. And I don't know if people really. I mean, I know Ethan can't really show that publicly because then if people might look at it as weakness or think that, they can take advantage of him, So, he's pretty strong, but he really is, man. He's got a really kind heart, very loving family man. And I'm starting to really look up to these guys as I get to know them more and more. And it was the opposite with me and Aaron Lepresti. We got along right away. And now I'm like, I don't know about this Mr.
That
Lopez.
son of a bitch.
No, I like him a lot. Aaron's
well, I mean, from what I can see, obviously, I don't know the person.
Was it Lepresti or Lopez?
Yeah.
Let me just say,
he's so great though.
Obviously, I don't know the personal feelings of all these guys, but I know that the chat, right? Like the chat on Kings, which is the biggest in terms of size, that's the biggest chat size, right? And the chat loves you on there, Jimmy. So
yeah.
Which means that as many shows you can pop on, the chat will support you because they like you. So there's no overall negative shit like from these Twitter douchebags. Forget about those fucking guys.
Yeah.
And Ethan, I from what I've heard recently, Ethan wants you back on. You've been on Kings recently, which is good to see. So I think you're welcome there. And you're probably welcome on the rest of the Kings channels as well, from what you're saying too. So anyway, what I'm saying is obviously this campaign deserves a lot more. And I think you might as well just push yourself forward because, man, the audience loves this and they're going to back it if they can, if they have the money, And at the same time, sometimes it does boil down to if people can't afford buying all of the campaigns too. You know what I mean? Like,
I launched right after John Malin, and John had a huge launch. So people had already spent a lot of money on John's, and then I launched the next day. So I didn't, I probably should have given it a little more time, give people, like another week or 2 weeks, before people, can replenish, funds and stuff like that. And I didn't really think about that. And then right after me is Aaron Lepresti. And now, so there's a lot of campaigns right now to back, but people are coming in and I'm seeing that now. There's a rush now where it was really slow the first week, but now it's really coming in. And so I'm really, really starting to see that support. And then being on CG Kings, when I was off of CG Kings because of health issues. And I had been off for so long, I thought to myself, I wasn't going to go back for a while. I thought I've already been off for, 2 months because I was, going through health issues. I said, I just won't go back. And my wife said, I don't think you should leave. Comicsgate, you know. I was like, I've been off. I don't think people are even going to remember me. But
Bro,
it was the chat and all the CG supporters that bombed my
Yeah.
DM, dude. Like I got so many DMs, but not only one king, which was Ethan, the only one that checked in on me. Nobody else did. But I know they're busy. So when I didn't get any like in none of the kings reaching out, I thought, you know. And then that's when I had people putting stuff in my ear. I had a bunch of these anti-CG people that I thought were friends, and I didn't know that they were anti-CG. And then I had some people that were former kings telling me stuff, and we were DMing back and forth, and I was vulnerable, man, and I
Yeah, you know,
almost
the truth of the matter is, man, and I know this also firsthand, and people pretend that it doesn't phase them, but you could be doing well, right? And even you can just get a small minority of the audience giving you shit, but
yeah
you still feel it. You still feel it, right? Because when you get that shit from some people and you get those negative comments hating on you, no matter what you do, you still feel it. And then even when people tell you like, "Oh, it's only like 5 out of 1,000 people," somehow you still feel it. You know what I mean? And it affects you. But I'm telling you, the chat loves you. Keep pushing, man, because this shit's good.
your
And
art is superb. Whatever anybody else
everybody's
says,
telling you the
your
same thing,
art
bro.
is spectacular. Like,
Everybody's telling you the same thing.
well, I mean, no one's ever challenged my art. No, I've even the anti-CG people have never attacked my art, you know. And so I go, if these, you know, these people that like the Ripperverse people or the anti-CGs, any of those people, they've never attacked my art, and I go, oh wow, so that means I got to be doing pretty good art wise. And it's the CG fans and that really like me, you know. And I know that I feel like Gladiator, like you just win the crowd over, you know.
yeah.
And I think that's when things turned for me and Ethan was I think he saw, hey, this guy's good from our show. The audience likes him. So I think that's when he said I think it's when he started to get, you know, I had more room for me on the show because I used to get kicked off the show all the time, dude.
I remember.
At the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
But I just kept coming back, you know, like a dummy, you know. I just kept coming back, and now, you know, I won the audience over, and I think it's paying off now, you know.
Well, I think there's a lot of people on Comicsgate Kings, and there's a lot of people who deserve the rank of king more than others. And I would say those people who've stuck around while being shit upon are certainly at the top of that list. And that's you, obviously, amongst other people. But like you, so not only did you sit there and put up with the bullshit and fight through it and keep coming back and keep doing work and keep doing work that continuously gets better and better. But then there was a point at which you started throwing the shit back at people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like okay, he's a king now. You know what I mean? Like that was the point at which I think the chat understood Jimmy Reyes is a force to be reckoned with.
Well, I mean, I can spar. I mean, like I said, I grew up with five older brothers. My father, truck driver, Republican, and he's a boxer. And all my brothers, we were all raised to box, and we all were forced into tournaments. I mean, when I say we boxed, it wasn't like it was like morning. That was our life, you know. And we were in tournaments. And growing up with all brothers, man, like they will put you. We cut each other down. You got to learn to fight back, you know. Especially me being towards the end, being one of the younger brothers, and so I mean, if people want to get in, you know, let's rip at each other. Oh, I can do it. I got a lot of ammo. I mean, I grew up years with brothers doing it, but I didn't know how people would take it, you know, because my fear was, well, if I fight back, I'm making fun of the people that the audience are here to watch. And I go, oh man, so it's kind of damned if I do and damned if I don't situation. Right. But when I did, I fired back. You know, I started, you know, going, well, all right, we're going to spar. Let's do it. And I started, you know, taking shots back at people. The audience responded and they liked it. They thought it was funny. And then people like to watch that type of back and forth that I was having with a couple of different kings. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize people took notice to that, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I noticed it. I was like, because there was a point like before you started knocking back at people, there was like they would shit on you, and you would just be like, you would say something that was peaceable to everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's all keep the peace. But then once you started firing back, I was like, let's fucking go. Cause they were good zingers too. You know what I mean? Like they weren't just like, oh, I hate you, shut up kind of thing. They were like,
Yeah.
you would needle them good.
Yeah, you got to be
And,
witty. It's got to be creative.
Yeah.
It can't come from like, huh?
I don't want to interrupt, but like Patrick, you might want to try and calm down our chat. They seem to be.
Look, they've been having issues for fucking, at least 1,300 years. I'm not gonna fucking. I'm tuning out. I'd rather be okay. So for the people let me just tell everybody what happened here. God damn, it's the same thing that happens all over the Fertile Crescent all the time. That's why I said we should glass it a couple of weeks ago. Mind your language, please, my son.
The Fertile Crescent.
Noah is watching.
Hey,
this is Comicsgate now. We're the good, strong artists of Jewish origin. And Abu Khan says, infidel! And then Lord of all Jews says, I'm tuning out. I'd rather be at the temple with Rabbi Silverbloom than watch a show that welcomes the sand people in the chat. Goys. He calls us goys there. First, he called us, what did he call us? He called us something that was nicer than goy. Now he shows his true colors. Abu Khan says, I spit at you. And then Lord of all Jews says, I have better sandals than you. He says, they're of oxen leather. Lies! I treat mine. Oh, my God. You see, folks,
Listen,
the kind
guys,
of shit we have to deal with on Comicsgate Commandos.
I already gave you the solution for this whole problem. Nuke the entire region.
Right, the Fertile Crescent. That's what you laughed at me earlier.
Yeah,
I said,
no, but I said nuke it. Nuke the entire region, and all the problems will be gone. There you go. That's the solution. The final solution.
Holy sites.
The final solution. Goddamn. I don't know if we want to mix Jimmy up in all this stuff.
Yeah, see, we can't nuke the holy sites. I think Jimmy would be against like what is it, like the church. It's like the spot that's over there. There's a shrine.
Look,
where
Jesus Christ is living somewhere in the heavens right now. He's not dead and he's not buried there. So it doesn't really fucking matter what we do to that area.
Well, you can't go over there and blow it up. I would be offended.
Yes, we can. We could very easily do it.
You can't go blow up like
I'm sorry, Jimmy. This is an argument we've been having on Comicsgate Commandos for a while. Dr. Ben doesn't want to glass the Holy Land. I do. It's this thing.
What's got holy in the title, So maybe
yeah, well, somebody just said that one time.
I think like you just literally can't. Like even if you had the means and the ways that you literally could not.
No, listen, Dr. Ben, Patrick's right. Because even after you nuke the whole area, technically speaking, the Temple of the Mount will still be there.
Says fucking who? Says who?
No, it's a physical. Hey, it's a physical location.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
The physical location is still there. The physical location is still there.
You see what we did? We talked about this stuff going on in the Fertile Crescent, and now Jimmy's off of our stream. God damn it. There he is. Okay, we're moving back to other subjects.
Oh, no, I was talking to the wife. She was
right.
Yeah.
Why did I do this?
Look, I'm not going to talk about your guys' blood feuds on my stream, okay? Do your thing.
Every week it's like this, Jimmy. We can't stop.
Seriously, Jimmy. We have.
No, guys.
You just gotta tell them.
See that movie? Did you see that movie Civil War?
Mm-mm. Is it good, Carbon?
That movie that came out with you heard about it, right? Civil War?
I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it.
Last year. I just finally watched it. It's on Max, HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth watching because it's fascinating. Like, it's obvious that movie was released perfectly in tune with what's happening, and it's clearly a psyop, right? To try to like affect what the public is thinking about this whole situation. And the possibility of civil war, and I can't figure it out yet. I don't know what the movie is trying to say, actually, because they tried to land it right in the middle of like whether you should do a civil war or not. You guys should watch. It's worth watching, though. It's worth watching, and I think it was released with the intention of trying to sway public opinion, being like, "Hey, listen, guys, if things go a certain way, don't try doing a civil war, because this is what's going to happen."
Yeah. I hear that all the time. This whole like, if you start a civil war, then the military is going to do this, that, and the other to you. But the fact of the matter is that the military, Jimmy Reyes Hart says, turns out the Holy Land was a Jamba Juice on 59th Street.
What happened? Everything got shut down.
Someone was saying, the Holy Land was here in America. Who knew?
Yo, but the
I've
twist
heard that before.
The twist of that movie, though.
We might watch the movie.
He's
No, I'm going to
next
spoil it.
being rated.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm
the
gonna
ship
spoil it.
sinks at the end.
I'm-
Ladies and gentlemen,
spoil
Carbon's
it.
going to spoil it. So if you don't want to listen to this, mute your thing now. All right. Go ahead, Carbon.
Because you guys aren't going to watch it. I know. So I
right.
might as well just tell you. The twist is that the rebel factions, so the rebel factions of Texas and California,
Mm-hmm.
they win. They end up defeating the White House at the end of the movie. So when you see that, I'm like, what is this movie trying to say?
Yeah. That is interesting.
You
This
know?
was a Hollywood produced movie, right?
Yeah.
That's very strange. Like, it's a resounding win? Like, it's a, hands down.
Well, in terms of force, they win by force. They end up raiding the White House and killing everybody. And then I'm like, but at the same time, the president in this movie is supposedly authoritarian. But we know that, given the fact that we're educated, us on this panel,
Right.
that it can go either way. Like, Republicans aren't not necessarily authoritarian. Democrats can also be authoritarian. So it leaves it ambiguous as to whether it was the Democrats that became authoritarian or the Republicans.
Well, I think
what
that's
I mean?
one of the great Marxist lies that occurs right now, is that Republican or people on the right are generally speaking authoritarian. I think that that's not true. Because the thing about it is our understanding of what is left and what is right is separate from our understanding of what is pro-government and what is not. And for a long time, the liberals and the people on the left, in America anyway, have been able to convince the mass populace that the left is not pro-government, whereas in reality, it's the most pro-government of those two sides. Not to say that the right isn't pro-government, especially in the more mainstream right. But certainly between the two, the left is far more pro-government and in pro using the government's power to affect people than the right is. So I don't know. That's just, Wolf and Bear says, wasn't it funded by Obama or was that another movie? Carbon, you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Well, the movie was made by A24, the production company.
Oh, I know about
which
that.
they usually make horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, all of their movies are fucking satanic as fuck.
Yeah.
So there's something about that company, dude, that like I don't trust them at all.
Interesting.
It's creepy, dude. It's creepy.
So would you say then that, because that's a hard one. So you're saying that the good guys essentially won at the end, but they didn't, but like it's being told by people who are not trustworthy and satanic. It's a curious thing. Dr. Ben, by the way, you didn't color in the yellow of the bikini underneath her right boob.
Left boob.
Well, it's technically, yeah, you're right. It's her left boob.
Oh, I think. Yeah.
I gotta get running.
I
gotta get some stuff done before bed.
Thank you, Jimmy, for coming on, dude. We appreciate you so much. We're gonna keep beating the drum for Dragonrage, or as it's alternately known, Titty Mountain.
Yeah.
And No, but seriously, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you. You're a goddamn legend, and it was really a great thing to have you on. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate that you guys letting me, hang out here with you guys, and I'm glad I got something to contribute to Comicsgate. It's a lot of fun here. So
yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll
man.
see you soon.
Nice meeting you, dude. Take
Good luck.
care.
All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye. See what happened? We start the Jewish Islamic talk, and then suddenly Jimmy's gone.
Bring up the Satanists, bring up the Jews, Islamic.
Oh, well, he's got to keep it business. It's understandable.
Door.
No, he does.
You got to keep it business.
Yeah. As artists too, I know artists like to work a lot at night, and this is prime time for working right now. So,
So this is all the comic I made, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to I couldn't get my computer to print it the PDF. I don't know why. It's something like the.
Actually, you know what? I think maybe it wasn't the Jewish talk that scared them away. It might have been this art. This art might have scared them away. He saw this and he went, "Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm gonna take off."
I gotta go.
He saw this and he goes,
no. bleeding pentagrams. I don't know.
Right. It's a little strange, Dr. Ben. It's almost like you're in favor of the bleeding pentagram. It's almost like when that satanic ritual was conducted 20 years ago with you, that you got mind controlled by a demon, and now you're masquerading.
No, after that conversation with Jimmy, what I'm thinking, Ben, is that you should start inking the art of another artist. Start inking the pencils of someone else.
Right.
So that you can learn their art style.
Steal it.
Start inking another penciler.
Directly steal it. Yep.
Yeah, and just there you go.
I've done that before.
Do what Jimmy did.
Yeah.
Jimmy stole someone else's art style. And now you just ink someone else's pencils.
I love how we say this now that he's not here.
Do the same. Ink someone else's pencils and steal their art style.
Oh my god.
I mean, I just draw the way I draw, this was covering what's his face, a Texaria piece,
but the whole point is to not draw how you draw. The whole point is to not draw like how you draw. So you draw like someone else. Draw like someone else.
Savage, dude.
You don't like the rabbit? Why don't you like the rabbit? Look at him. Look, I got.
Dude.
Oh my god.
I got paper dolls of the rabbit. You could play with.
And all right, here's the thing, Ben. In life we have choices. You can choose what to model after. So you can either ink a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah.
Or you can ink a David Finch pencil art like the way Jimmy did.
You're telling me that's not a good picture of her there? That's a good picture of her. The lady there holding her doll. You don't like her?
Well, it's interesting because that looks like a prostitute, right?
Yeah.
She looks like a prostitute. And it also looks like it was drawn by a prostitute.
Damn.
It looks like it was drawn.
Like it was drawn.
by the lady. By the lady it's inspired by.
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, I want you to feel like dirty. You don't want to read it and be this is
dirty reading a comic book. I want to feel fulfilled.
It's a horror comic. It's not a happy
well,
comic.
Ben, in that case you succeeded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In that case, you succeeded in that goal.
what is going on? Like,
Folks at home, you're
Dirty.
witnessing a civil war in the Comicsgate Commandos right now.
Dirty is
Carbon's
the
going
feeling.
hard in the paint against Dr. Ben, and I'm here to just watch. I'm here to laugh and watch.
I'm supporting you. No, Ben, I'm supporting you. I'm giving you some fucking solid tips over here.
right.
Especially with the fucking tracing of
right,
other artists.
he says.
Have you heard of T.S. Eliot? Have you heard of T.S. Eliot?
I heard of T.S.
T.S. Eliot was an author from the 1900s.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you've heard of T.S. Eliot.
Carbon's about to tell us who T.S. Eliot is, folks. Just bear with
T.S.
us.
Eliot has a famous quote. And it's probably one of the most important quotes of the 1900s. He goes, talented men borrow. Let me start over. Talented men borrow, right? Smart men steal.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm not lying. That's an actual quote. Smart men steal. What he meant was you take the style of someone who succeeded and you basically recreate it into your own in order to succeed. Right?
Right.
He's not technically
In that
wrong.
case, the prostitute right here, who looks like she's living in the 6th dimension,
Yeah.
you put her into the 3rd dimension.
She's
God damn, Carbon, what are you drinking tonight, dog? You're fucking. you're.
I mean,
God damn.
like one thing is like I don't want this to be like successful. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on a budget now. I can't.
Well, first of all,
I
where do
can't
you
go
sell
with
this,
budget.
Dr. Ben? Who?
Man,
How can
bring her
people
into
buy
the
this
3rd
from you?
dimension. Bring her into the 3rd dimension.
But Dr. Ben, even before you bring her into the 3rd dimension, like, because you're only gonna bring her into the 3rd dimension to get sales. Why? Like, how can people get this from you? You know what I mean? Like, where is it? Find My Comic, Indiegogo. What's going on?
Oh, I've got to finish setting up like the Indiegogo thing for it.
Finish setting up, dog. Are you done with the comic book? You got to
No,
set that up,
this is
stat,
like
brother.
This is like a preview. This is like an ash can.
Yeah, but you gotta set it up
Dude,
immediately.
like I know how to make
people
fucking comics, dude. Like
I'm just
what the
saying
fuck?
people want to buy it. People want to buy it. They want to buy it right now.
I'm gonna
So
probably
where's
put it
the
on my
option?
Okay,
eBay.
all right.
I had it this fucking
All right.
weekend.
Simmer
I've been
down
at the
now.
whole fucking weekend.
Wait,
all
let him
fucking
talk.
Okay,
Let him talk,
simmer
Carbon.
down.
Carbon, let him
Fuck
talk.
off, shut the fuck up, Carbon.
Carbon, let him talk. Let him
Fuck.
talk. Let him talk. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doctor.
I'm telling
Ben.
both of you.
Don't
Both
like
of you
my
to calm
art. I
down.
don't give a fuck if you like my art or not, Carbon. Okay?
I know you don't.
Carbon,
Doesn't
let him talk.
fucking matter.
Let him let it
Okay,
out,
you know what
please.
this is about? This is about me watching two fucking satanic fucking mind fuck serial killers
I love
murder
it.
some fucking poor bastard in front of me.
Yes, I want to hear it. I'm saying both of
I don't
you.
care if you like
Carbon.
it or not.
Carbon,
Ben,
don't make me,
Ben,
don't make me mute you,
Shut
please.
the fuck up.
Let
You don't
it-
have to
let Dr. Ben
respond to
talk.
every single thing and talk for 5 fucking minutes every time.
Wait, just
Okay? I don't get that. Like you guys keep just talking. Shut the fuck up every now and then. I'm trying to like show you the shit that I fucking did. I'm at a whole fucking Comic-Con all weekend, and I got fucking jack shit from anybody. Like what? Fuck off. Like what do I have to do? You guys were whining about not getting noticed by fucking John Malin or who? Go suck his dick. That's how he'll notice you. Okay, sorry, Jimmy. John doesn't want you on his show. You didn't suck his dick, okay? You didn't sing a happy birthday. Like, get off the bitch shit. No one cares who's friends with Ethan or not. You're friends with him, good. You're not, doesn't matter. All I'm trying to do is sell my fucking comic, okay? I'm going to put it on eBay. It's like 6 pages for the thing I printed out. Probably got like 60 or 70 left out of however fucking many I printed out for the fucking weekend at the whole thing that I was Friday, Saturday, Sunday selling the bullshit. Selling the comic from fucking Rick Beach. guy who drew fucking 1963, the guy who drew Swamp Thing. I'm in his fucking comic, okay? My pages of art are in there about me being a fucking weirdo, seeing another artist who drew Bart Simpson the night that he died. He came in my dream the day that he fucking died. Like, I don't understand what any of this shit is. I don't make it up. I'm a fucking weird guy. You don't like it? That's good. Okay? You don't like my art style? You don't like a cartoony art style? Look, it's a rabbit. Fucking boo-hoo. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you want. Like, you would think I care if you don't like my art style, that it's scratchy or cartoony or something? And I mean, that's not like just, I mean, like anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Carbon, hold on 1 second.
Can I answer you?
Carbon, please hold on 1 second. I just want to say something, Dr. Ben. I just want to know, first of all, and I know the chat wants to know, where can we buy your comic book? Because I don't know where to buy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. I got to put it onto eBay or whatever.
Okay.
I got back on Sunday from the whole fucking weekend. Monday, I was all laid up because my feet are all.
Sure, I understand. I know.
Yesterday I had shit. Today I had to mow the lawn. I haven't put it onto the eBay yet. I've got an eBay.
Okay.
I've got my Substack.
So okay.
I'm gonna launch the Indiegogo. I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't figure out how to put a picture on there with it. I gotta do it through the.
First of all, I would say do your eBay thing. That's great. I would not launch it on Indiegogo. I would launch it on Fund My Comic. Just a little bit of.
I like Fund My Comic, but they're not really that big, and they get into weird kind of stuff. I like Luke Stone a lot, but
that's the thing. That's the thing, Dr. Ben. Your comic.
I'm not trying to build up someone else. I want to sell my thing and be done with it.
I know. Your comic. You have to admit your comic is niche. So you want to put it in a space where niche is accepted, and Fund My Comic. That's a great place to put it, dude. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret putting it there.
Well, so I'm not saying I'm not going to put it there, but like to start it, I'm just going to start it on Indiegogo because that's accepted and bigger. And then once I get that, like kind of like a handle on it.
But you really should put it on Fund My Comic. Yeah. And there's people like me who are waiting to be able to find a way to buy this and support you. So I you've got a very particular artistic style that's very, very distinct, and it's very, for the particular kind of stories you're telling. So,
right.
So Carbon, on the one hand, like I understand what Carbon is saying, but on the other hand, I've always been one of those people who's been able to look at what I would consider the underground and find the beauty and the value in it. I mean, that's why I'm friends with Johnny Scab. Johnny Scab, before he became totally mainstream and sold out to everybody and made a lot of money, was 100% underground, and he's somewhat semi-underground at this point. But the point is like, there's people out there who are 100% down with what you're doing. We just need to find a way to pay for it, to give you money. So just focus on making the Indiegogo. Carbon, I understand Carbon's issues and complaints, but what I would say to Carbon is that Dr. Ben is not doing what people like John Malin and Shane Davis are trying to do. It's a totally different game. Totally different thing.
I might do something, you know what I'm saying? Because I love fucking X-Force. I love Rob Liefeld. I love Youngblood. I love Pitt. All of that shit. But before I can do that, I have to do this.
Sure.
Okay. Like that's just done lots of other stuff. And it's like before, you know what I'm saying? Like I've got to gotta do this. This is, I feel like I might have promised it to Ed Piskor too, because I called his phone number that day when he killed himself, and because he had his phone number at the bottom of the thing, and I figured he's probably already dead. By the time I could finally get around to reading the damn thing, he had me blocked on Facebook, but I called it nonetheless, and it just goes to voicemail.
Gotcha.
And I was like, dude, I never even got to show you my fucking comic about my weird murder thing, dude. This is like my whole.
Yeah.
You printed my fan art for your fucking Red Room demon murder story. Blame me, he's exactly the sort of person that would have been like, fucking creepy auto-bio Satan murder story. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like he would have just
One of
been
your
like,
heroes died, is what you're saying.
well, it's not
Would
really
you
like
consider him at least an inspiration? Would you consider
yeah,
him
yeah.
an inspiration?
He's definitely inspiration. He was a
Okay.
good. That's what I'm saying. He's a good cartoonist.
So yeah, it's obviously very emotional. Now, Carbon, I see you're unmuted yourself. Now, Carbon, that we have both said our piece. Go ahead, say what you want to say, please.
I'm very hurt.
Are you?
Not likely. You son of a bitch.
Listen,
It's happened before.
Yeah,
like,
Ben,
that's what I'm
just
saying.
like
Like,
Ben, earlier, and listen, I understand your frustration. I get it, and totally fine with me. As a matter of fact, if we were in person and you wanted to slap me around, I'd understand it. I get it.
no, I would have
Anyway.
just.
Anyway, the whole point, what I'm trying to say is, I know I jumped on top of both of you guys. I was kidding around. I was trying to break it up and say, simmer down, guys, because both of you were talking on top of each other. And I was already done busting your balls, by the way. I realized I know I was busting your balls.
You were busting my balls? I don't.
No, Ben. I know I was busting. I was done busting your balls by then, and I was
Right.
gonna go, hey, simmer down, guys. Yeah, and then, hey, but look, it's all good. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's especially like I've been to like.
Well,
I know you're. Hey, Ben, I know you're harboring some resentment against me because
No.
Yeah, because I'm Colonel now. Because I'm Colonel Carbon, and you're going, hey.
Look,
Hey,
it's all
Colonel.
very simple. It's all very simple. Okay. Look, he's the colonel now, Dr. Ben, because he responded first to me. You didn't respond for 2 weeks. Whatever. You're here now. Water under the bridge. Also, while we're at it, while we're getting water under the bridge, Paul Ravoche was upset with you because you posted the Brian Kriskow thing comparing EVS to Jesus, and you posted a picture of us on. Wait a minute. You posted a thing of us on. Focused. What am I saying? You posted a thing of us on Comicsgate Commandos, smiling to the, similar to biblical quote. So Ravoche thought that you were trying to create drama between him and the Comicsgate Kings, which is not true, but it's what he perceived. And so it's all water under the bridge now.
But
If
that's
I were
exactly
you,
the kind of like, to be fair, like that is the kind of like what we could classify as like bitch shit, though. You know what I mean? To be like, well, I thought that they were trying to make me look and live. You know what I mean?
I would say this, Dr. Ben. Normally speaking, under any other circumstance, I would say this is bitch shit. However, I know, and I'm going to admit
Canada
it to you,
by choice.
I'm going to admit it to you into the chat that when it comes to like religious references, I am hypersensitive. I will tell you that much. So when you mention, like, when you make a religious like reference or connotation, like, that's the kind of thing that will get me to focus on it really particularly. That's why I was upset with you when you posted it. And I think that's why Paul was upset with it, because he's also kind of religious. So
I'm super religious.
Wait, hold on. All that
like
aside,
extra super religious.
all that aside, like, just avoid that type of religious ribbing from now on. You know what I mean? Like, it's very simple. Like, I don't like blasphemy. I don't like shit talking. Like, even when the Church of Cecil's Kindness comes on, like, the Church of Cecil's Kindness commented on one of the YouTube videos and they said, I am the King of Kings. And I like all of the videos. I like all of the comments that occur on my videos, but I didn't like that one because that's how OCD I am. I cannot like a statement that says King of Kings if you're not talking about Jesus. So just so you know, that's how some people are. I'm just saying we're all different. We all have our own opinions. We all have our own like levels of temperament, and I'm just saying there comes a point at which some people will be like, fuck you if you say certain things. So just be aware of that. You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. It's your life. It's your voice. But just be aware that when you say certain things around certain people, they're, you know what I mean? Like that's how I act anyway. So I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah.
When you get into the
I
Jesus
thought you
stuff,
were a pastor of the
See?
online ministry, by the way.
see, he says blasphemy. That's the kind of thing that like it's not funny to me. Like I'll read it out loud,
Yeah, blasphemy. is
but
not
I
funny
don't
to
find
us,
that
yeah.
funny because like I actually believe that God is real and that Jesus is God, and like I believe that, like I actually believe that. So like I don't just say that I believe that, and so I can't like it's hard for me to like say things against that in real life. So that's all I'm saying.
Can I
That's all I'm
can I
saying.
respond to this like a
Yes,
serious response?
please.
Like by
Go
all
ahead.
means.
Go ahead.
Unless Carbon's like, because I did cut Carbon off like numerous times in my. No offense to you, Carbon. Like I thought the similar thing with the Swamp Thing comics and the Jesus thing, right? Swamp Thing 88, where they didn't publish it because it would have. I think this was supposed to be the cover. I won't.
We talked about this though. Scroll down.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I considered the same thing. I was like, okay, because that definitely, I would agree with you. Like, that definitely does seem like blasphemous. I can see how.
This is sacrilegious. I'm sorry, but this cover is sacrilegious.
My point, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I can agree with that. Like, I'm not saying like, no, you have to like this. Like, that's not. My point is that the way that someone might find the cross, for lack of a better word, to say Jesus, to find themselves where they're actually turning to Jesus, could come in any way. You know what I mean? Like in any way that someone could like the thing where they got the cross or the crucifix in the jar of piss. I'm with you on that. Like, bash that motherfucker's face in. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take. Yeah. Whoever made that, dude, we got a place for that guy. Yeah, but that might be the thing that like finally turns someone who has literally, you know what I'm saying? Their heart's been turned against Jesus. Their heart's been turned against the cross. They hate God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be the thing that literally turns them, that they're like, this.
Hey Ben, how about I hang you on a cross, and then maybe that will turn some people to Christianity.
God damn!
Fucking hang you on there, right?
And if that's what you got to do, I mean,
no, but a photograph of that will do it, right?
God damn!
Well, I mean, I wear a cross.
We know.
I'm just saying. Just a regular one. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I definitely think about
this is what I'm known for. There is a
very, very fine line.
Patrick,
go ahead.
This is what I'm known for. I get blunt real quick. Real fucking quick. Right? Yeah, you don't fuck around with a representation of Jesus if you believe in Jesus. Enough. It's not a joke. All right? We're not going to fuck around with that. It's true. Patrick was being nice. We're done. Enough with that.
You feel the same way about like with that?
Of course, not just me.
Let him finish. Let him finish, Carbon. Then you can say what you want to say. Let him finish.
Do you feel the same way about like with Bosch Fosting? He's always drawing pictures of Muhammad, and they're very angry about that. Like,
yes, because this is the thing, Carbon. This is the thing, Dr. Ben. The Christian religion is the only true one. Okay.
Right.
All the other religions are fake and gay.
Sure.
And probably a combination of both of those things. So Muhammad is actually a pedophile son of a bitch who murdered thousands of people, and at his behest had thousands of people murdered to present his religion to people, to force them to engage in his religion. So if we're talking about the specific example of Islam, then the answer is a categorical yes. Like, fuck Islam, fuck Muhammad, and he should be drawn, being raped in any situation.
Yeah. Honestly,
I don't care about that. I think about because
like,
Muhammad is not a real.
I'm an American.
He's not Jesus.
That's the thing. Like, I'm a Christian, but I'm an American. I'm not gonna like give Carvin special rights about his God over someone else. Like,
no,
my God.
Dr. Ben, the question is what you
Jesus is my God too. Okay, like I don't have any question about that.
Is Allah your
And
God?
I'm not gonna try and offend him myself. Definitely. not.
Is Allah your God, or is it Yahweh?
Huh?
You have to choose what you believe. You either believe in Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, whatever. What is the religion you believe in?
Well, like Jesus.
Okay, so Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
To believe in Christianity, there's certain rules that mean that you're a Christian believer. Like I can't say I
Where?
believe that Jesus Christ was both God and man, and also
Where are these rules?
it's this thing called, I know it's really kind of,
If it's like Catholic stuff, like I'll like shit all over Catholics all day. The Pope
no, it's
wearing
it's
fucking
called,
Temple of Dagon on his head. Like, no, the Pope's a fucking fuck that. If you think like Catholic theology somehow is like the real Christianity, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really to. If you
well,
want
that's
to
the
go
thing.
into, like,
Catholic
like,
theology is
like,
not for people who want to make excuses for themselves and live the life they want to live without any repercussions for the things that they do.
Yeah, my
So I
God
understand
doesn't
that.
share his glory with any human beings, any popes, or Dagon, which is what the Pope's weird hat.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
understand that's
Yeah. I'm sure you heard
Dagon.
that from. I'm sure you heard that from mainstream media, which is controlled by a certain group of people.
I can look at it and tell you that. I can look
That's
at
fine.
every single aspect of of Catholicism and
That's
tell
fine.
you all the pagan origins of it.
Here's the question. I do have a question for you. But were you raised?
So that's what I'm
Catholic?
saying. Like, especially then, if you're telling me that like your version of Christianity is the only acceptable one, and that I have to be an American and accept only your version.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
that's where
this
like
swamp thing image we're looking at, this swamp thing image, Patrick.
Yeah.
What is this? Is this a comic cover?
I would call it sacrilege.
No, but is it a comic cover? Where did this come from?
I mean, Dr. Ben would know better than me, but I assume it's a comic cover that was not used.
No, but I mean, scroll up. Like, what is this that we're looking
No, this is
at?
Dr. Ben who has control of this. Go ahead, Dr. Ben.
Oh, okay. So this is an image
Dr.
on
Ben,
Dr. Ben's site.
Dr.
it's
Ben,
off
this
the
is what I would
fandom
say.
culture.
This is what I would say, Dr. Ben. This is what I would say. And this is the thing that a lot of people are uncomfortable about realizing, and a lot of people don't want to admit because it's uncomfortable, and it is very uncomfortable. I'm not going to say that it's not uncomfortable. The fact of the matter is that there is either the truth or there is no such thing as truth. So either you believe that a God exists in this universe, and therefore the truth is what this God of this universe has decided the truth is, or you don't believe that there's a God of this universe, and so therefore there's no such thing as truth at all. Now, if there is a God of the universe, if there is a God, then he has decided that there is a certain truth to all things at all times in every situations. So whether you like it or not, that truth is the truth. Now, it could be Christian, it could be Catholicism, it could be Orthodoxy, it could be Lutheranism. I'm not going to sit here and say that I know, as a human being with a limited finite brain, with limited finite folds in my brain, that I know exactly what's going on in the universe at all times. What I am going to say is, through what I just said, I can say to you that there is, in fact, one religion that is more correct than all of the others and should be the one that everybody follows. That's what I'm saying. Now, you don't. There are religions that are close. There are religions that are very far away. The point of the fact is, if you believe that a God exists, then you have to then believe that there is an objective truth to reality as we know it. So then you have to decide your life upon that. People who are in Islam, people who are Muslims, believe that the God of the universe is Allah. And therefore, all of the things that the Prophet Muhammad said in the Quran are the things that they believe as 100% the truth. Just as the people who believe that Jesus Christ was the Lord and Savior and the God of this universe, as well as being the Son of God, a human and man at the same time, or a human and God at the same time, those people believe in their Christianity. So, amongst the groups of Christianity, then, there are groups of people who are more correct, and there are groups of people who are less correct. There are groups of Protestants who believe that black people aren't fully humans, and they don't deserve the grace of God. and what Jesus did for us at the cross. They're wrong. I think they're wrong anyway. But the fact of the matter is there's all kinds of beliefs. But if you believe in a God, then there is one belief that is correct, and it is your duty to figure out what that is. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you to believe in Catholicism. I'm just saying that there is one belief amongst all of them that God agrees with more than every other living human mortal being. If you believe in God. I mean, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not because he's real. But the fact of the matter, like when we're talking about this in a dialogue, like a dialogue, and we're having an argument, you got to say those kinds of things. If you believe in God, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to convince you of Catholicism. What I'm saying is, there's somebody who's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that, like, I don't know. I don't look at it. Once people get too mired into like dogma and like exact interpretations and exact, obviously there's, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bible's pretty clear, like about like just basic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be killing, don't be lying, the basic kind of stuff, right? Jesus says, treat your neighbor as yourself or whatever, all that stuff, right? It's not complex stuff, right? And so anytime I've seen religious folks get where they're really, really trying to explain how they're the exact fulfillment of this, and this must be talking about them, and the only way, and it's like, slow down.
Yeah, it seems a bit cringy, doesn't it?
Like I like that's what I'm saying. And it's not that I'm trying to tell them that they're wrong or like that, but it's like that's not what I, you know what I mean? Like that's not what I get from any of it, and that's not what I've ever experienced. And I mean that's what I'm saying. Like my whole thing with this Satan murder story, like the guy he was a confessed Satanist. Like they arrested him, and that's like in the newspapers. I'm a Satanist. Don't worry, I'm a Satanist. I'll tell you everything. Like that's insane for one. When I first see him,
all right, hold on. We're giving room for Dr. Ben to wriggle his way out of the point here.
Wriggle, what a great.
That's what's happening here.
This is
what's happening here. Patrick, I know that your intentions are good, and Patrick, I get the point of where you were getting at, but sometimes when you're long-winded on the question or the point, it gives room to wiggle your way out of the fucking point. So that's where someone like me is necessary to get straight to the point. Ben,
let me grab another beer while you're doing this. Let me grab another beer.
No. You don't get to leave. You don't get to leave.
I want to get another beer, but I'm not.
Just go, Carmen.
Swamp Thing. This fucking image right here. You made this, Ben. You think this is okay?
No, he didn't make this.
No. This was. See that's what like. I wanted to show there was a whole article. This was, in fact,
you've already read the article though. We read the article like 2 weeks ago.
All right, so he didn't make this. The whole point is blasphemous imagery. Blasphemy is wrong. Depicting people on the cross other than Jesus and being blasphemous is wrong. Okay, we're not going to stand for that, Ben, and that's it.
I think this is what I'm trying to say, right? I wouldn't promote blasphemy. Right now, I can see what you're saying with this comic, and that was like the whole debate about it. Like it wasn't published back in like 1989 or whatever, right? Like I had read a whole article about it, and like it was on John Delarose's site, but now where is it? John Delarose dropping the ball. He's got Mark Miller coming on his show, and he's dropping the ball on the little guys, whatever, JDA. But like that's what I'm saying. I covered it like as a journalist. As someone of faith, I wanted to like show that this was like something that was happening. They were trying to get it reprinted. I don't think it's right to like make it. That's what I'm saying. Like I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't think this is right. I kind of don't want it to be printed because it is offensive. But I was like,
Well, at the same time, though, when you say that, though, at the same time, you showed us last week or 2 weeks ago about that picture that was similar to that painting where somebody was being crucified. Did you not?
oh, the one with Cecil.
Okay, look,
True.
I don't want to
Why are we
make
going?
a giant thing about this. You know what I do want to do, though? I want to talk about this on its own. Comicsgate Commandos.
But my point is that someone can find something through this, and it could direct them to Jesus. Is my point. Even through something that we see as blasphemous. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can see both points of view.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be offended or anything like that, or like I said, I look at the something thing and I'm like, I don't know, it's dumb. Like he's the cross or something. Like
it's kind of basic at this point. It's kind of a basic bitch thing to do. Oh, I'm gonna be edgy. I'm gonna use the cross. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, but
real quick, Johnny says, "Can we all agree to just be good to each other and not be kind to each other? That's the best religion." Johnny, this is something you're going to have to learn. The answer is no, and I mean this. The answer is wholeheartedly, 100% no. You and not you, but the people of your country and the politicians of your country asked Islam to come into England with this thought in mind. Well, we can just all be good and not be cunts to one another, right? And we can all get along together. But you have come to find, Johnny, that religions are far more powerful than politicians. And the religion of Islam is going to destroy and eat and rape England, and if it's not already doing so. So you have to choose. If you don't believe in full freedom of expression, then you can't fully believe in the freedom of speech, to be fair. I agree in full freedom of expression, but there are cosmic consequences for you doing things. There are cosmic consequences for you doing things. Johnny, the reason that your country is being invaded by Islam right now is because the people of your country have eschewed the religion it was founded upon, Christianity. That's the only reason. That's it. That's it. You can keep pretending like you want to go with agnosticism or atheism and that your country will survive or recover from this Islamic invasion, but you're wrong because those people believe what they believe better than you believe what you believe. I'm telling you, they believe what they believe 100% more than the agnostic or the atheist in England believes what he believes. And they will control you and they will take over you and they will rape and destroy you. You have the option at your disposal to revert to the religion and the ideology that your country was founded upon, or you have the option to be destroyed and controlled and raped. So it's up to you.
This is getting into a very deep conversation. I need to comment something here.
Go ahead.
Because Johnny just said, I'm with Ben on the freedom of speech. I never said that I'm against the freedom of speech on anything that you believe, anything you think.
I think he thinks that blasphemous stuff is
well, you know. But anyway, let me just say that because I still believe that that's important, that everybody has that freedom to express what they believe, what they think. Okay, that's fine. I guess earlier what we were talking about is in the context of, you know, when you're in a group of friends or you're in a group of for a show, right? Under the pretext of something going on, you know, there's a commonality there. There's an expectation, you know, and if we're under the impression that we all think a certain thing, we don't expect something completely anti that ideology to come about. And so that's what I was talking about. So, you know, being conservative and being Christian, and, you know, that's the expectation. Seeing something against it is jarring. And that's what I was referring to. So so I believe in freedom of expression wholeheartedly. But obviously in your home and in your place of dwelling or camaraderie, you don't expect to see those things. That's my whole point.
Johnny says Pat's being overly pious and slightly condescending, as if he's speaking to somebody who's younger than him. That don't wash. I don't know what that means. That don't wash. Sorry, I don't know what that means. I don't mean to be condescending. I really do not mean to be condescending. I am literally just speaking my mind exactly as I think that things are in the world. And I do know the Quinlans, my family has an entire background of feeling like people thinking that we're condescending to them. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, like, it's like if you touched a fucking hot iron and I was like, bro, it's hot. Like, what the fuck did you expect? Like, whether you like it or not, this iron's going to be hot. And so that's the way I come off. I understand that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but anyway,
at the same time, though, at the same time, Europe and Northern Europe, especially England, they developed as a powerful nation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real now, because of Christianity.
Right.
Christianity blended into the law and into royalty there, right? And that's what allowed them to flourish.
So
because without that, and the invasion that you're facing right now is anti-Christian.
Right.
So let's not.
That's all I'm trying to say to Johnny. I'm not trying to say you have to be a Christian. I'm just saying,
but
your culture's built off that.
But I'll say it directly. If you want to pretend that Christianity is not the way towards better society, then guess what? Welcome all those migrants who are going to destroy your nation. Because guess what? They're anti-Christian. Anti-Christianity is going to lead to the destruction of the Western world. Okay? Yeah. And that's a fact.
Yeah. It is. It is a fact. And you know, it's not like Carbon and I are like, you have to be Christian, otherwise you're fucked and we'll kill you. That's not what it is. It's more like the other people who don't believe in Christianity are gonna fuck you and kill you because you don't believe that stuff anymore. So now their belief is stronger than your belief. There is no person who believes in the state stronger than somebody who believes in a religion. Even though the worship of the state is a religion in its own right, every other religion will be more powerful than your belief in your state that will keep you safe. That's all I'm saying. Like, even if you only believe in Christianity on the outside and you don't really believe it in your heart, like, and that's horrible to say, but like, the fact of the matter is like Islam is stronger than your state. That's really what it comes down to. But anyway, we've talked a lot about Islam, but we haven't said a word about Judaism. So I would like to go hard in the paint against Judaism right now, folks. First of all, have you guys read the Talmud? Because honestly, that